transfer that over. All right, does that work better? I don't know if that's this microphone, though, or if it's just the other microphones in there, but it does look like it's working. Sorry about that, guys. I have no idea why it would just not work. But who knows? We here. Sweet. Sorry about that. Anyways, yeah, it's Monday. It's Raw. Dee will be here in a little bit. I don't know exactly what she's doing. Got Leopold up in the house. He got his shots tonight, so he doesn't have a bow tie on. I don't know exactly where they gave him his shot, so I don't know if I want to put a bow on him in case he's in a little bit of pain. But anyways, we do appreciate you guys. Daz is in here. Film's in here. Matthew's in here. Chris Okane's in here. Akane is in here. Luke's in here. And yeah. Okay, that's everybody. Anyways, glad you guys showed up. It's Monday. It should be pretty exciting. I'm actually looking forward to Wednesday's show, so I might be ahead of myself the whole time because I'm kind of excited to see who the Jokers are going to be in the AEW Owen Hart tournament. But right now they're just showing us the Bobby Lashley and Moss stuff, so they actually have not got to any sort of action yet. Just basically recaps of this storyline. Steel cage. That is happening tonight. Is it going to be first? It does look like it might be the first thing happening tonight. That is going to be sick. So on Moss, Bobby Lashley going to be starting the show off in the steel cage. That's going to be on Fox. We are going to get the RK Bro and the Usos on Friday. And then Omos. Wow, what an exciting show in store. Starting it out with a steel cage match. All right, where are we at? Let me just start reading some of this stuff. Film Nation Mysterious, Travis, happy Monday. And then Film says, I'm ready to see Alexa Bliss. I said, who is not? And then Matthew said, what? No sound. Okay, we can hear you, Film said. Or we can hear you, but I don't think you could have heard me at the time because I don't think the sound was working. And then Dad says, is it me or is it just one match tonight, please? You mean one good match, one steel cage match, that kind of match you're talking about? And then Matthew said, no sound. And then, hey, Travis from Chris. And then Matthew said, Luke, hey, how are you? In here. And then I am now Matthew, so he's up in here. And what's up? We hear. And then, yay, noise. And then, I hear you now. And then, hey, Luke. And then we can't. And that's from Matthew. And then Dad said, we can hear you now. So we did get that. I'm just hoping it's this microphone and not that microphone, because that microphone isn't as good. So the American Nightmare is going to be out here in 2 hours. They literally have a timer for Cody. It's actually pretty funny. Where are we at? And then I hear you now. And then, hey, Luke. And then okay, we can hear you now. And I almost didn't wake up from my nap. I was comfortable. Well, who wouldn't be comfortable when you're napping? And then Chris said, did you see the free DLC update on Crazy, since we have also getting DLC on May 17th, possibly tonight at midnight at 2 p.m. No, I haven't turned it on since like last Thursday. And then you're not excited to see who the supposed WWE return is tonight? If there's going to be a return, I'm sure it's Bayley, would be my guess. Is there any guys that have been missing for a while? I thought Elias was the only guy. Maybe we'll get an Elias sighting. That'd be funny. Maybe Damian Sandow comes back as Elias. And then Matthew said, I saw an old woman get knocked down by a pit bull today. Oh, luckily it wasn't a mauling, but it was still scary. I ran over to help. I was going to mac the dog, or mace the dog, almost for president. Moss for president. All right, Moss is in the ring. This is a steel cage match starting the show out. Now, I don't know if this is a hint, like we might not see an ending to this and it's going to end up being a Hell in a Cell match, a Hell in a Cell, or if this is actually the end all for this storyline. Hi. Anyways, I left it right there, but you could read Matthews again if you want. The old woman getting attacked by a dog. Kind of a cool story. And then he wants Moss to be president of the United States.
Did you read Daz's?
Oh, Dad.
He wants to know what the storyline between Seth and Cody is.
Other than that's who he came back and wrestled first on his debut at WrestleMania. Then he beat him there, and then he beat him at the last pay-per-view. And now they're just keeping it going. I would assume they're going to end it at Hell in a Cell.
Right.
Look at this.
Where he scratched it because he tried to jump on you and he didn't have pants on?
Here. That's from Play Catch. So you have to move him off onto the side and then throw it.
He plays catch with you now?
A little bit last night.
Nice. Alright, here, everybody out there. MVP's talking, so it must be important.
Oh yeah, of course he's talking.
Chris Akani's in the chat, though, says today I went fishing, caught like 17 catfish, and made the best po' boy sandwiches ever.
What? That's awesome.
I'm glad that you're using your time away from a job for good recreational usage. Good for you. Go out there and live some life. Luke says, Trav, when you get time, go on YouTube and look up videos for Creator Clash. It was a pay-per-view boxing match this weekend. That was all Twitch and YouTube streamers. Some actually damn good fights.
Oh, that's pretty interesting.
Film says, okay, we can hear you.
There was a boxer that died this weekend.
Like from a fight he had this weekend or a fight he had previously?
In a fight. In a boxing match. He had a heart attack.
Like during the match?
Yeah.
Holy fuck. That's why you don't take steroids. Matthew's like, I know people are upset with Moss and Lashley. However, I really love it. Film says, is Misty coming or will she not be here tonight? Film also says, Matthew, happy Monday. And Luke says, there's supposed to be 2 and 1 is from AEW. Whatever you guys were talking about.
A return?
Yeah. Returns.
An AEW return?
And 1 is from AEW.
Huh.
So there's supposed to be 2 returns. Were you talking about AEW returns or returns on WWE?
Right. Tonight, Raw.
Okay. So on Raw tonight, there's supposed to be 2, and 1 is from AEW. There you go. Matthew says, Tony Khan is doing a crazy amount of interviews lately. I think it's because of the New Japan event coming up in June. Matthew also says, hey, Film, I hope you're well. And Film, ask and you shall receive, because I sat down. Pickle is in the chat saying,
look behind him.
Oh, it's Cedric. Ouch.
That was the long... That reminds me of those
look
movies
behind you.
where the guy's running
What?
and they're like,
Right.
but nothing's happening.
Pickle says, why is this in a steel cage? I'm not paying attention to this feud at all.
Yeah, there's not a lot going on with it other than Bobby keeps getting beat.
Yeah. He doesn't have friends.
Which
so,
is just
you
weird
know.
to me. But so is this match not going to happen?
I don't know. It's going to go to commercial, and then you'll find out after that, I bet. Robbie in the chat, hey, Robbie says, what going on, peeps? I don't know what's going on. I just got here. Matthew's like, hi, Miss D. Hello, Matthew. Luke says, hi, Deletha. Hello, Luke. Robbie says, what a match to kick off Raw. Matthew says, seriously, who else besides Bobby and Drew can handle a Moss?
Roman. But, yeah, I mean, obviously from the face side of it.
Vindicator says, all right, guys, so it definitely feels like Monday night. Already off to a dumb start with Steel Cage coming first. I'm putting the Raw Women's Tag Champions against each other. Ugh. And Matthew says, did you get your hair did, Misty? No, I didn't get my hair did. I did it myself. I'm talented. Not. Dad says, do you think Seth versus Cody could have a stipulation?
Always can be stipulations. I don't know exactly. I mean, it'll probably be the Hell in a Cell match. And it looks like it could be the main event of the evening. So, looking forward to it. what is that, 2 weeks away?
What is
Little
it?
under 2 weeks away, Hell in a Cell.
Oh, I don't know. Is it the end of this month?
It's June 5th. No, the end of this month is the
AEW's.
AEW's.
So we're
It's the
on
next
the
weekend.
16th
Right.
so far. Today's the 16th
So
anyways.
3 weeks away.
Yeah, so it's a few weeks away. What else? Let's see. Chris says they have old Alexa, Nikki Cross, and Dominik, aka T-Bar, old entrants on the free 2K22 DLC update. Matthew says Paige will return. You're funny, Matthew. Chris is like, now they are giving Bobby Lashley a Robert Roode entrance. And Film says, hey, Misty, how are you? Big hugs, big heart. Doing pretty good, Film. How are you doing, hon? Matthew says, Jack Swagger returns. That's my guess. And Paige.
Jack Swagger.
Pickle says, this stuff makes absolutely no sense. What stuff? I think marshmallow fluff doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Or meringue from lemon meringue pie.
They have a ginormous dog hair on your hat.
Yeah, well, that's disgusting.
Film says, hey, Pickle, happy Monday. It's Raw time. And Film also says, I think Paige is going to return as a manager for Ronda Rousey.
Well, there's been rumors. I think she hinted at it, but we'll see if they do pull that trigger.
Matthew says, LOL, you did do something with your hair, though, right? Yeah, I actually did something to it. Like, I did it. Like, I put it up in a bun for work, and I curled my longish supposed bangs that I have in the front of my face. And I just didn't take it out to look all grungy for you guys.
When are you going to do that one thing with the thing, that pink thing that you bought that looks like dancing shoes?
I don't know. I thought about maybe trying it Tuesday night for Wednesday, but I don't know.
Wait, you have to put it in the night before?
Well, yeah.
Oh, you don't wear it? I thought you just wrapped your hair around it and kept it in.
It's no.
I don't know what it is.
It's a curling device, not a hair
Helper? Like a barrette?
Like a apparatus accessory.
I know there's a thing you can put in your hair and then you wrap your hair and make sure it's all covered. It's like a bun. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
There you go.
That's what's in there. Anyways, Vindicator says, now Omaha looks weaker with all this added help. It's like pulling teeth trying to hang in here with this show. On a brighter note, how's the Squire Sir Leopold of Catopia, England? He had to go get shots today, so he's cuddling and sleeping on my lap right now.
Uh-oh, here we go. They are locked in a cage. Does he have more shots now?
He has to get more booster shots.
There's more?
Yeah.
When does it end?
I don't know. It's like dogs. They have so many they have to
3.
get. And then they have
That
to
was
get
his
their
third one.
boosters every... I think they have to get 4, don't they?
I don't know.
I don't know. Call them up and ask them tomorrow. Pico says, I guess so. Case of the Mondays.
He's getting his balls cut off on the 13th. That might be close enough.
Maybe. Anyways.
Ball cutting. This is sad. Oh, look at that. Oh, poked him right in the throat.
How dare he? What a jerk.
I'm also going to smash his head, it looked like. Oh,
Pickle's
there's
like,
the
I
offense.
guess so. Case of the Mondays. Yeah, I know you're talking about the wrestling stuff, like with Amos and Bobby. You know, it's because MVP, like, you know, quit on Bobby, and Bobby's kind of by himself, and Bobby's now a good guy, Amos is a bad guy. And they had to give Bobby something to do that has nothing to do with the titles, right? Because they have Cody Rhodes back, and yeah. He kind of got screwed because he got injured. If he probably would have never got that weird injury that he got, he probably would have been like the
champion.
The champion for quite a while, but longer. And probably right now he'd probably still be the champion. So anyways, Luke says, so I learned last night that during a thunderstorm, goats, phoenix foxes, and the cats will fight for me in Jade's laps, and it's painful.
Yeah, my lap fills you because mine's all scratched up.
I don't know why goats would want to fight for your lap. That's kind of weird.
Were they fainting goats? Did they just pass out? Wow.
Roberto Lozano's in our chat. Hey, Roberto. Says, hello, y'all. Don't know if the ring is going to break tonight.
Well, a lot of big guys in there, right?
Matthew says, oh, it looks like your bangs were cut. They are, but aren't. So really, they're like that long. I just curled them, so they look shorter.
Keep them down. They look cute.
Most of the time, my bangs like this make me look like I'm 12.
Well, if they're shorter than your eyebrows, they will.
Anyways, Matthew says, Luke, it was also a super flower blood moon eclipse that might have helped with your crazy animals. Vindicator says, is Sir Leopold asleep during his boosters, or do you have to hold his hand? I don't know. Travis's mom had to take him.
My mom took him today.
Because the appointment was like while I was still at work, so. And I couldn't take off to take him, so. Looks like true, Matthew, LOL. And Film says,
uh-oh, Bobby down again.
What do you think of this idea, Travis? Do you think Paige is going to be Ronda Rousey's manager?
Oh, look at this. Yes, it would work if they want to go that route. Paige hasn't been around for a while.
Oh, poor
So I don't know
MVP.
exactly how they'll
Poor
end up
guy.
pulling it off. Oh, spear!
You better be careful. He might get broken.
That might be
again.
it. One,
They got him?
2.
Oh,
No,
Moss
Moss
got
kicks
out of
out.
it.
But yeah, she hasn't managed in a while. And I know she does want to kind of wrestle. I just don't know. I mean, I know she's still under contract, so. If that's what she wants to do and be back on TV, that would be great. Ronda could definitely use it. And if she's good enough at it, then she can get a stable.
Yeah.
I like stables.
And then she could be MVP for like 4 months.
Kinda
and
like
then
that.
it all could implode.
Well, yeah, that's how it always is, but yeah.
Film says, hey, Vin, happy Monday. I figured they'd stay together way longer than they do.
The
but
Hurt
they
Business should
don't.
have been together for about 4 years.
Right? Robbie's like, Bobby
If he can
getting
get this locked in,
rushed.
he still has not ever got this locked in. That's a huge man.
Matthew.
I think
he got it
he
this
might
time.
have it locked in.
He's got it
Oh,
locked
sh-
in.
Oh,
But
no, he
fell
moved.
down. He let go this time. Good for him. He's learning. Matthew says, I've been having weird feelings and strange coincidences lately. I might be superstitious.
Magical thinking.
You're not. Just accept your feelings.
It starts when you're a baby.
There's no such thing as strange coincidences. There's just things that happen.
Don't label them. It just is.
Ravi says, cool hairstyle, D. Thanks, Ravi. It's totally awesome.
What is he trying to do
At least
here?
it's
Like
off
an
my
arm
neck
bar?
and it's not hot.
A Moss could almost just step over the top of the cage.
Right? He's like,
It's like
"Roar,
8
look
feet
at
tall.
me."
Look at this.
Oh, Cedric's going to come ruin it for everybody. Vindicator says, I think secretly Bobby likes getting beat up by bigger guys. He got bored running through all those Cedric Alexander Ricochet types. LOL.
Well, now Cedric's in there. In the ring with
Wouldn't
him.
that be illegal?
No, there's no disqualifications in a steel cage.
Well, that's just...
In the old days, what they would do, the stables would get in there, and they'd be beating somebody up, and then they'd lock the doors, and then they wouldn't let anybody climb the cage, and then they'd just take, like, spikes or cowboy boots or whatever and just bash the other person until they were all bloody. And
Huh. Nice.
it's talking like the 80s. The Road Warriors took a spike and blinded Dusty Rhodes.
Oh, no. Blinded him forever. Film says, hey, Robbie, what's up, to bro? Happy Monday. And Matthew says, a little Vin. And
Moss.
Robbie says, yo, Film, you
Oh,
chilling
no.
tonight?
Threw his ass right into the cage.
Ooh. Let's see. Matthew said, Film, you're feeling a Paige comeback too, huh? Film says, I love Paige, and yes, I also like her armpits. And Ayla's in the chat. Hello, Ayla. How's it going, ma'am? Matthew says, Robbie, are you having a good evening? Film's like, Robbie, I'm chilling tonight. And Vindicator says, this cage match will be pointless if there is no bloodshed. Yes, I'm a vile
Okay,
savage.
I just want everybody to
I need
look
to
at
see
Amos's
grown men
head
suffer
and then look
for
at
my
the size of the
attention and
referee's
entertainment.
head. Just look at the size difference in the referee's head and Amos's head. Just their heads,
Just their
not
head.
their height or anything else.
Just their head noggins.
I think Amos's head is the same size as the guy's torso.
Matthew's like, eh? Or is that a hi or an oh? I don't know.
Whoa, big
Vinegar
boot!
says, Ayla, you keep coming back. And Ayla's like, am I not supposed to? I was like, oh, D, yeah, would be less hot. Yeah.
So
Up better.
Cedric's still in there,
Less
and
hot.
he's passed out underneath the bottom rope on the one side of the cage.
He fell from the top of the cage, so he feels it. He's sad.
Look at this. He's got him in a claw.
Oh, no. His brain's going to get sucked out of
That's
his
exactly
eyeballs.
what they end up doing.
Pickle says, I have something serious to ask. Don't know if I should be bringing it up. Do it.
So serial.
We are so, like, open in our chat.
Is he going to slide off his back?
Don't worry, I'm sure everybody will bully you for it.
Oh, no. Busted the cage open.
So he won. So
Not
Bob,
yet.
Oh,
he has to
like,
touch the floor with
touch
2
the
feet.
Floor.
See, this is what I was thinking. They might be setting this match up for Hell in a Cell. That's what I was saying before we...
Keep rolling, Bobby. Just roll down there. Come on. There you go. He won.
2. Winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
He's like, well, I got thrown through the thing. That's cool. Let's see. Film says, hello, Ayla. Matthew says, yo, do what you want, champ. Pickle is like, how do you deal with a loved one who has OCD?
There it is. Bobby Lashley, winner. Oh, Lord. The unique way.
Despite the fact that he played by the rules and just because he got thrown out of the cage and he stepped on the floor that way, it would be no different than if he had gone through a door or crawled over the top.
Nope.
No different. Absolutely no different. Just because he was used as a human wrecking ball does not mean anything. Anyways, Piccolo's serious question is, how do you deal with a loved one who has OCD?
How severe is the OCD? It really is important because there's different levels of OCD.
Yes. Very true.
And so are they turning a light off 15 times before they have to leave a room?
But it doesn't have to be that. OCD comes in.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Forms.
Is that
cleaning constantly?
Is it what is the problem? And then remember, when you think the problem is the problem, it's not. It's the solution to a problem. Mm-hmm. So they're doing the OCD thing, whatever it is, so they don't feel a certain emotion.
Yep.
And so you have to address the emotion that they're avoiding. And then the problem will go away. So it's just like alcoholism or drug use or sex. All of that, it's all the same thing. You're avoiding a feeling, an emotion. You're basically phobic of an emotion. And so washing your hands 30 times makes that feeling go away. So, so to deal with it, you have to find the emotion, which can take a conversation, or it could take a year. It really depends on how high or how hard they're hiding the feeling that they're trying to hide from.
Yep.
And then just remember, when you get to that feeling, it's happening.
Yep.
Like, so they're going to be in that feeling again. And that's the only way you can change that feeling, is living in it and then changing it. So basically, it really just depends on what the OCD is.
Thanks for coming to Travis's TED Talk.
TED Talk. I could do a TED Talk.
It looks like Fat Lisa, the conversations we have in here, I doubt anything is off limits. Exactly. Ravi says, it just depends on how much you want to share. Ravi says, Matthew, yeah, had a day, bro. What about you? Vindicator says, I thought all the wrestling talk would have scared you away by now, Ayla.
Austin
Ayla's
Theory
like, I ain't scared.
in his wrestling gear.
She ain't scared. Ravi's like, Bobby getting squashed. And Matthew says, Ravi, it was all right. Nothing crazy happened to me, so that's cool.
Oh, it's Mustafa.
Luke says, Piccolo is someone who lives with someone who has mild OCD, patience, love, compassion, and understanding. Film says Bobby Lashley won. And Cheerful Grizzly is in the chat. Hey, Cheerful says,
Grizzly.
What I miss?
You just missed the steel cage match
between Bobby and Moss. And Bobby won, but in a very unique way.
He got his ass thrown through the cage.
Moss used Bobby Lashley's body as a human wrecking ball and threw him into the cage, which then broke. And then Bobby got his wits together enough to step onto the floor and won. As Film says, Bobby Lashley won. And Vindicator says, Cage falling apart is the same thing that happened with Bobby versus Strowman and Strowman versus Big Show. Got no bloodshed, no successful cage match. Film says, hey, Piccola. And Ayla says, I don't know. Not many of my family members show signs of OCD. I see other mental illnesses, though. Ayla, actually, hoarding is a type of form of OCD. Who would have thought it? Robbie says, yeah, same. Matthew was chilling, went gym, and chilled out around my folks. Matthew says, anyone with OCD can be cured with a swift kick in the ass. Matthew's like, in fact, a lot of things can be solved with a swift kick in the ass.
Well, you'll notice that they'll go away if they're not helpful, by the way, also. So somebody that has OCD only uses that OCD when it's helpful. Mm-hmm. But say you have to leave a room and you turn the light on 3 times and off.
Right.
But if somebody's chasing them with a chainsaw, they will not stop and turn it on and off.
Yeah.
And they won't have anxiety about it.
Right.
So it's a convenient disease, and nobody, and it's, first of all, it's not a disease, it's a disorder. And it's a thinking disorder, and that's all it is. Yep. It's basically just built on thought, and nobody likes to hear it, but they're using it as a tool, like I said, to get away from a feeling, just like any other mental illness.
Yep.
It's a tool, and people don't like to hear that. Mm-hmm. Because it's a tool.
And they really want themselves to have really something wrong with them.
And I can probably tell you 99.9% of the time, the emotion they're hiding from also. It's loneliness.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, to get to the bottom of it is find out why they feel so lonely. You know, basically have to go back to when they were in the theta state before they were the age of 6. And then what bedded down in their belief system at that stage. We as humans, we're born in like a delta state until we're 1. And then until we're 5 or 6, we're in a theta state. And these are brave wavelengths. And so we learn by observation. So hypothetically, say you have a parent that's scared of something. We learn that we're supposed to be scared of that without learning to be scared of it, or we wouldn't exist as a species.
Right.
Like a baby deer knows it's supposed to be scared of something because its parent is scared of it. Mm-hmm. But anyways, this is just your bargain basement mental health hour, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's what's happening is
that's just the scratch surface. That's the surface of what's going on.
And so when you're in that theta state, this is where magical thinking comes from, like Bigfoot, aliens, all that kind of stuff, or like the mystics. All that stuff comes from when you're a baby and you're crying and then your parent takes care of you. You don't know your parent took care of you. You just know something magical happened to you. Mm-hmm. And so you got a blanket or something, or you got changed.
Yeah.
And then
you got fed or touched
whatever it was. And then it keeps happening. And that's why you've got to let babies cry themselves until they figure out to stop on their own.
Right.
And then once they start figuring out their tool system, then there won't be a lot of magical thinking. But a lot of these OCD things are based on magical thinking. This happens because of this. I have to turn the light off 3 times so I feel better. That's magic. Mm-hmm. But anyway, okay.
But yeah, people, I mean, rewind and listen again, because it will help you with your situation and the person. And Luke's right with the patience and kind of understanding and stuff like that. But at the same time, you cannot be somebody who enables that person to have those actions and then force you to have those actions as well. You can't do that. You can't. And that's not. And Luke, I know you're not sure how you feel about calling OCD BS and understand all that stuff and everything. It's not about your feelings. Not anything about your feelings about how you feel about it or anything. It's about what's a situation for P-Cola and what's going on there and how he can go about helping that person so that it's not affecting their life, which then trickles down to affect every single person that has to be around them in their life. And pretty soon what happens is then they become lonely because people stop wanting to be around them because of what they're doing that they don't understand. So, I mean, that's That's just my take on being involved with people who have anxiety issues and going through that kind of stuff. You cannot, for the life of you, enable them. You can't. It takes so much away from yourself.
Well, it doesn't help any.
And it doesn't help them at all, really.
Oh.
But we do have Ali and Theory in the thing right now.
See, his opponent isn't Theory. Oh, fuck.
Oh,
it's Veer.
It's Veer. He's like, here's some people you can hang out with.
We got a Veer sighting.
Veer is what's happening. So, let's see. What did I miss? Got that one.
You guys, Veer has a real match. So we're going to see what he's built out of. Because Ali's supposed to be pretty good. I keep hearing from other people. So we'll see how this works out with The Miz as the referee.
Oh, yep. Robbie says Bobby with a sneaky win there. Luke says, Matthew, so I can swiftly kick you in the arse to cure whatever might be wrong with you. And Matthew's like, I need to ferry back to the gym this week. Hopefully I'll be motivated tomorrow morning. And Nia says, Luke, he'll need more than a kick. Pico says, there is no doubt I'm not an anxious person. I somehow have to avoid being confrontational and not call on their BS. Matthew says, Luke, I know you're shining your boots for my keister. LOL. Ila says, I guess hoarder could be a sign of OCD. Makes sense. I don't deal well with a hoarder. I don't like clutter, so maybe I shouldn't give advice. Sorry. And that's your anxiety, Ayla. Like, if you really want to get down deep into that shit.
Nothing outside of you can affect your feelings unless you choose to.
So yeah.
So like Luke get upset because of something that's happening outside of his control that triggers him, it upsets him, and then he gets upset because it's outside of his control.
And that's normal.
But
we all do it.
Everybody does it.
Everybody does it. So it's not
it's
not
just being
attacking
aware
or anything.
Right,
It's just normal.
being aware
that you're doing it.
That it happens, and then you can change it because it's a choice. On the fly, like, oh, this person said something, I don't give a shit. Or I choose to give a shit, but either way, just accept it and let that feeling flow. Because stress is caused by stopping that feeling. Just like stress, like think about water going down a pipe. The more pressure in that pipe, the more stress is on the pipe. Yeah. You got to let it flow like a lake. There's no pressure in a lake.
Pico says, it's not that I don't care, I just don't feel like bleaching, wiping, and cleaning constantly helps with the situation. Sounds like something with the pandemic might have triggered the, issue of the anxiety. So, yeah. Matthew's like, OCD mixed with superstition is the crazy OCD where they have to walk around a building 5 times before they enter.
Yes.
Let's see, Vidicator says, Dalitha, what would be the one food item in life you would hoard if you could? And I already hoard food.
So
bit.
My advice to the cleaning one is don't, right? So you can clean, choose to clean because it's nice to clean. But when you feel like you have to, set the rag and the bleach down, sit on the edge of the bathtub, and sit with that feeling. Don't label it. Don't judge it. Don't be hard on yourself, and just sit with it until it goes away. Like, that feeling can't last. No feeling can last forever, right? We can't get stuck in a feeling. And once that feeling subsides to where you can handle it again, get up and leave. If it happens again, just sit down with it.
And this is stuff that if you feel comfortable being able to talk to your loved one about this, because they will get upset.
Uh-oh, here it is. It's over.
Because they don't see it.
247. Ali just got smashed.
Yes, Veer won that, by the way. But yeah, so they will get upset. They will, because they don't see that. They don't. So it'll have to be have to be conversations without pressure.
Right, which is also the equivalent of talking to somebody about being overweight.
Yes.
It's going to trigger them. And so just be prepared for it. Look at this selfie.
They're having a selfie.
Woo! We had all these expense.
Well, he did it to himself. No, I'm just kidding.
We did, actually. Nobody to blame but Ali. He's the one that decided to quit wrestling.
Pico says, Luke, correct, I'm not being delicate with the situation. I'm trying to keep my feelings reserved. Or Chris Lacani is like, theory time. And he is like, if you call them out on their BS, it won't do anything. It's annoying to put up with what we see as BS, but to them, it's real. My MIL is insane. Film says, who is Cody Rhodes going to wrestle tonight on Raw? Hopefully it is Seth Rollins.
Hey, the
Hopefully
Mysterios coming down, both of them.
Seth Rollins.
There's your return.
But they're...
They haven't been around.
Dominik's return. But that's 2 people. Is that both a return?
Can't answer that for you.
Right? Vinegar says, I just avoid any serious discussion so I don't have to engage my feelings. I would rather just be cold-blooded and rely on my twisted, dark sense of humor.
Boom.
That's an anxiety reaction. Just so you know. Yeah. Matthew says, Luke, I agree with you. I think a lot of psychological problems are just big pharma pushing pills. This is about the way one thinks. Hell, I'm nuts and I see it and I'm trying to fix it. Right. And that's the biggest step. The biggest step that you can take.
Right. But the other step that you have to take is give yourself permission to be that way.
Yep.
That is a bigger step than trying to fix it, because trying to fix it, you're not going to be able to. And the reason is because you can't see behind your own corners.
Right.
And so it's really hard to fix yourself because you don't have a mirror in front of you. And so talking to somebody else, which is it still Mental Health Month or is that last month?
No, it's this month.
So talking to somebody else, even if it's just talking, they're going to show you a mirror and you're going to see it. You're going to see around those corners that you can't see, and you're going to have a aha moment one after another when you're talking to somebody else. But when you're talking to yourself and you're trying to do it by yourself, you just won't be able to see around the corners unless you hit absolute rock bottom. You know, like there is a spot where you have nowhere to go but up when you're laying on the ground and you can't move because you're petrified, because there is that is a thing that can happen, but I wouldn't worry about it. There again, just give yourself permission to feel.
Yep.
Because that's most of our problems, is we just don't give ourselves permission to feel. I know a lot of people say accept it. I don't like the word accept.
Yeah.
I like the word let it go.
Right? Like that phrase. Like, Frozen. Let it go. Let it go. I mean, they had it right. That song is a good song in that sense, because that's what she was doing. She was I know a lot of people haven't seen it, but if you've seen the movie, okay, think about what she did her whole entire life. She suppressed her feelings, right? And she had major anxiety about hurting somebody, major anxiety about doing the wrong thing, major anxiety about being in public or having to be around other people. Think about everything that they made that character go through, and then what she did to just be her. She let it go.
Hey, Ernest.
Like, just let it all go kind of thing. Anyways, I'm trying to get caught up, so.
Oh, you're fine. We're probably way back.
Not too bad. Let's see. Chris says Miz looks like he's supposed to be a ref. He was a ref in that last match. Matthew says my imagination run wild sometimes, and I get carried away in all emotions. Pickle says, okay, I appreciate it all in your kind words. Anytime, my man. I mean, that's, that kind of stuff is kind of scary. I mean, it is. We get it. Ayla's like, I lost a huge chunk of friends because of my anxiety and depression, exactly what Dalitha said. And Ravi says, The Miz as a ref again. Matthew's like, runs, not ruined. I got it. Chris says, Veer finally getting an actual opponent. Yeah, he killed him in like 2 minutes. Vindicator says, it will still be a squash match, big versus little guy. Crap, this will not make anyone care about Veer. And Matthew's like, Ayla, I feel you. And Vindicator says, unless Veer starts selling free beer. Ayla says, oh, I know my issues. I need control. I'm very intuitive about my mental health. Matthew says, my aggressive driving is me trying to be in control of the situation. I can only control myself, though. But that motherfucker cut me off, and I'm doing about it, lil. But I'm doing about it, lol. Vindicator says, no surprise McMahon wants to see 2 people of Indian heritage beat the hell out of each other. Ali isn't from India that I know of.
I didn't think Ali was.
I didn't think he was of Indian descent.
I thought he was Middle Eastern.
Yeah. Film says, boo, Veer, boo. And Pico's like, poor Ali. Matthew's like, people will only change if people want to change. Vindicator says, by the way, Travis, Veer is basically copying Rusev's finishing move. Such epic creativity.
I know.
from
Well,
WWE
you got to
higher-ups.
turn the head sideways because it's cervical.
It's different. It's different. It's in his spine. It's spinal. Rafi says, Ray and calm Dom. Because, like, bro being sarcastic keeps me level. You know. Sometimes that really is just your sense of humor. Sometimes it really isn't, like, a trigger reaction to situations. Sometimes it really is just your sense of humor, and that's not a bad thing. Like, Film says, poor Mustafa Ali indeed, and is like me, too fat Lisa. Pico says, I'm known to be passive-aggressive, and I understand it's not always the best way to communicate. Film says, I just don't believe Mustafa haven't left WWE yet. Film, he's not able to. He cannot. He was denied.
He asked for his release, and they said no.
Yep. He asked for his release, and Vince said, nope, you can't have it. And so now he's just a punching bag for a while. He had to actually come back to work and, do stuff for his contract that he's in. Matthew says, Wrestling Gab is group therapy. LO. I love it. We're freaking awesome. As it should be. People should help other people. You shouldn't hide the information that you have, right? You should share it with people if you know it can probably help them. That doesn't mean you're giving them advice. That means you're just sharing information. Whether they take it and do something with it is their choice.
Right. And just remember, change is instant.
And it's scary.
It's instant. It's getting ready to change that is the fuck up, right? So people with like PTSD, that's a good example. They changed instantly. In an instant. It happened instantly. But what caused them to change was their childhood, their belief system, right? So it took 17, 20 years of a certain belief, and then something catastrophic happened. Well, to them. It might not be catastrophic to somebody else, but it could be your best friend getting his head blown off, or it could be somebody running a red light and hitting a dog.
Right.
Whatever it was. Mm-hmm. That was out of your control at the time, bam, it changed your life forever. Like, you'll never be the same, which isn't true because you can change that. But it feels at the time that it'll never go away, that's the new you, and you'll never be the same as you used to be. But change any direction is that exact same way. You just got to be ready for it. So you have to change how you learn, how you think, your whole belief system, and then the change happens, and now you're a different person. Mm-hmm. Back away. You'll never be what you were, because what you were, you never want to be what you were because it got you where you were at.
Yeah.
You don't want to be that person.
Right.
You want to be the best person that you can be.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's learning. That's just absorbing knowledge.
Yeah, it really is, too. And it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, because it takes time. Anything that's, if it was easy, everybody would do it.
Yep.
And we just live in a utopia or whatever.
Yep. Anyway, so they did have Becky Lynch on there. If you guys saw that, she was talking to Adam Pearce. She really, really wants to be the #1 contender for the women's belt. She feels that that's how it should. She never got a rematch. She feels she was gypped out of it, so on and so forth. And then he said something about how she's going to have to fight for it with Asuka to get that #1 contender. So that's what's happening there. Then they just did a quick recap of what happened between Riddle and the Usos. So Ernest Bell was in the chat, or is in the chat. Hopefully you're still here, Ernest. Hi. Travis said hi to you, but hi again. Chris Akane says Becky looks coked out tonight. Matthew says, sup, Ernest. People said, dang, just thought it's a catchy song and cartoon. LOL. Robbie's like, I don't think I will ever watch Frozen. Ayla says, hi, my name is Ayla, and I have mental illness. I'm on day 3 of no anxiety attacks. Matthew's like, hi, Al. And Matthew's like, I'm Matthew, and I've been abducted by aliens and now work for Mother Cow. Ayla's like, hi, Matthew. Matthew says, hello, you're all right in my book, champ. Ayla's like, being sarcastic with a monotone voice is dangerous. Philip says, poor Ali. And Vindicator says, transparency for the win. Because, like, LOL, do you guys have a PayPal? I feel like I should be charged for this. Hell no, dude. There's no charge for that stuff. No. This is the kind of thing.
Therapy, Gab.
That should
it's
be
next.
like free kind of thing, you know? Robbie says, Specs Lynch so salty these days. Chris says, hello, Adam should say, look, Bex, you blow me and I'll give you the title match.
Yeah, use your authority for
Yeah,
for
you
good
should use your authority for good and stuff.
and just causes.
Just causes. I was like, Becky looks like she's stepped out of the 80s. Yeah, she does. Manicur's like, ha ha! So they just changed that stupid six-pack women match on the fly to just Becky versus Asuka. Like, this show has got to be written by 8-year-olds.
Is that tonight, that fight? I thought they were going to do it at Hell in a Cell.
Maybe. Pico is like, I've heard that there's real beef between Roman and Riddle.
Could be.
I mean, I guess there could be.
Riddle's kind of a douche, but Riddle will whoop Roman's ass in a real fight, so. He is a former UFC guy.
It's because Roman's had cancer, so he's kind of a weakling.
Well, I'm just saying.
I'm kidding. I'm just kidding about that, guys. Matthew says, I think that people use mental disorders as excuses for being bad people. I'm fucked in the head, but I don't blame others for my problems or became a hardened criminal. I know right from wrong, I think.
For the most part, we all kind of do, but sometimes it can get twisted and it can be really scary. We saw a shooting in Buffalo not too long ago, and I'm sure that had something to do with anxiety or depression.
Yeah.
I would like to...
especially since the guy, he was only a kid.
I would like to talk to him and see
child.
what his thoughts were at the time. Because
now
he has to spend the rest of his life in prison.
Yeah. And, it's just like what the DC sniper did. He was a kid, too.
Oh, was it? Wait, wasn't it two people?
Kids, yes, but it was a
One
young
of them was
boy.
like a little Muslim kid, wasn't he?
No, he was black.
Was he?
Yeah, he was
Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
He was black. But, this kid was young. He was only 18 years old. And unfortunately, our brains are not mature until we hit about 24, 25 years old. Your brain still is growing and everything till you're of 25 years old. And so...
I'd just like to talk to him and see what the fuck. Because obviously something was going on in his head.
Mm-hmm. Rob is like, the Usos are so boring now. It's because you see them all the time. You see them on everything. You see them on Raw, you see them on SmackDown, and then they do stuff where they win and they shouldn't. It's just weird. Ernest Bell says, I'm starting my own wrestling podcast on YouTube called 1234 Disqualified. Cool beans, Ernest. Good luck, my man. Pico says they made a movie based on the DC sniper. Yeah, they did. They did make a movie. You're right.
That's weird.
Right. It's creepy. It's weird. I don't know why they do that.
Was it called something like 7 Days of Terror or something?
I think so.
That's what I would name it. Or however long it was, like a week of terror.
Yeah.
Because it was. I remember people were terrified to go out.
Yeah, because they didn't have a pattern. Mm-hmm. They didn't have a pattern of who they got.
Did they go to Arizona and shoot too, or was that a different thing?
I don't remember. I thought that was different. Maybe that was the Muslim one. Anthony Manzano's in the chat. Hey, Anthony says, hi, Gab. Hey, man. How's it going? Nice to see you in the chat. Matthew says that Buffalo thing pisses me off. That guy was on the radar. People accuse me of being one of those people. I think that's also why I've been running away from those feelings, still grieving.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's like this. Do you... I don't want to ask if you have the thought of taking a gun and killing people, right? But what matters... It doesn't matter if you have the thought of doing it, right? If I have the thought, if I'm around a knife, and what if I pick it up and stab my dog? Right?
I always think I'm going to cut myself.
Right. Well, most of the time it's other people. I'm going to hurt somebody else. It's okay to have that thought, right? Because it's just a thought. We're just not our thoughts.
Nope.
We do feel like our thoughts are us every once in a while, but what's really happening...
in a minute that it's insane.
But what's really happening in that situation is if you think about hurting somebody else and it doesn't scare you, like if you're not kind of piqued by it, like I'm going to grab a gun and I'm going to go shoot up a mall and it doesn't affect me, that's a problem. That's when you need to seek professional, like you need to go talk to somebody. But if you go, I'm going to go kill people, and you're panicking about it, and you're in the shower, and you're trying your hardest not to, you're not going to. That's your sign that it's not going to happen because you're scared of it.
Right. Matthew, it comes back down to your, I know right from wrong, I think.
Right.
Your brain does. Like,
but
that's morally wrong. You shouldn't go kill people, right?
This guy was literally live on Twitch, and he said, well, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. that's where you and I go, no, it's not, right? Like, we know before we get to that line.
Even at 18, though, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking maybe at this age, yeah, of course you do, but even at 18...
All right, well, Jey Uso came in and
wouldn't have had
distracted
that.
him, and Jimmy hits Riddle from behind. We do have a match, guys.
Yes, it's Usos. As Ravi said, the Usos are so boring now.
Because
we get to see them again.
I wonder why they're wearing red on red. Is that like a thing now?
I don't know. P. Cola says, I actually wrote a paper about male frontal lobes. Use jackass stunts at boys making impulsive decisions as an example. Perfect example. And it goes, males are more prone to it than females, but females do it too. Like, they do impulsive decisions. Any teenager does. It doesn't matter. It does not matter, boy or girl, that from this age to this age is impulsive. Just impulsive decisions, impulsive choices, impulsive things. And stuff like that.
And you got to think, this is a once in a generational thing, right? Like, and I don't want to say generational, but it's a once in a, we're not going to see it again, right? Nobody's going to go to a mall and shoot people under the same circumstances that he went through. Mm-hmm. But usually I can tell you, whatever his history is, it had no choice but to end that way.
Right.
Like, we are where we're at because of how we were raised. Mm-hmm. We have no other choice. We believe what we believe because of what we believe. And so therefore we are where we are. And so that's kind of where empathy comes in with things.
Yep.
Like, be empathetic towards people because you would be where they are if you had their temperament and how they were raised.
Yep. Anyways.
And there's like 5 different temperaments.
Right. So is it just Riddle against one of the boys?
It is, yes. Okay. It's Jimmy, the fat one.
They both have their shirts on the same, so I don't know which one's which.
Well, he has longer hair, too.
Oh, he's in the ring. Okay.
Yeah. Seeing he's fluffy.
Yep.
Yeah, no athleticism. He tried to fly through the ropes. Riddle got him. Thank goodness.
Vindicator says, they made a movie about a military sniper, too. I think the guy who took out Bin Laden. Yes, he was the guy who, his wife got very upset because later on...
Did he die?
Yeah, he killed himself or something happened. And stuff like that. Anyways, Matthew says, I'm not a domestic terrorist, but I'm treated like one. Fucked up shit. Anyways, let's go, Brandon.
I'm pretty sure all military
would be considered a domestic terrorist.
They're on that list. They put them there because they feel like
they taught you
they're trained
what you're supposed to do, right? They trained you to be a person who goes out there and fights for a country, and they taught you all these things. And then all of a sudden you're not in it anymore, right? So what does that make you? That makes you somebody who could possibly start a militant type regime. You could start militias.
You're trained
you could do uprisings because you know the ins and outs of the military of the states. So
you're trained it with an AR-15 assault rifle. Assault rifle, that's my favorite word. It's just
I know, the AR, assault rifle. It's named after the fucking guy who made it.
Yeah, assault rifle is not AR.
They're so fucking dumb. Do your homework, people. Do your homework. Anyways, because like homicidal tendencies are okay. Well, alrighty then. Yeah, so really,
not
like,
tendencies, thoughts.
Thoughts, not tendencies. Tendencies are a psychopathic type of situation.
You don't want to have the tendency to do weird things.
It's a thought you might have.
It's
Anybody has them.
And you'd be like, oh.
I mean, how many times have you been in a store and you're just like, oh my God. You just, a person's acting like a jackass and you just want to smack them upside the head, but you don't do it.
Right, because it's wrong. Even though it'd be fun.
Even though it'd be fun.
There are some people that will yell at people in a supermarket. I've seen it.
Right.
It's creepy as fuck.
Road rage is another thing. Like, it totally is.
This bitch followed somebody for 45 minutes and then started shooting in their car.
Yeah. She had the girl that had her kids in her car.
And she was the one with the gun. She had her, 9 and 4-year-old.
And it was like a group, it was like a car full of teenagers, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, she was shooting at teenagers.
Like, what the fuck? And I don't know. The teenagers are fucking stupid because, one, they didn't go to a goddamn police station, for fuck's sake, or a fire station, or anything that has authority-type figures at it. To say, hey, this bitch has been following us. I know we might have done something to piss her off, but holy crap, this is not right.
The funnier part is they're taking video of it.
Yes.
And not calling 911.
Not calling anybody.
Kidding me?
Yeah, they're
as she's
fucking
shooting
dumb.
into the car. She shot the one little girl in the face, but she survived. But still, she got shot in the face. She's going to have a scar.
I should laugh about it. Don't laugh, delete this. It's not funny. Okay. Anyways, Vindicator says, okay, stop with these Xia Li vignettes and commercials and put her ass in the damn ring. We watched to see her wrestle, not talk directly to a camera.
It is silliness.
Yes, silliness. Matthew says, never a serious thought at the same time. I've never openly made threats towards anyone. I just scared radical left libtards to the point where they used my time and service against me to form a lie. Yeah. Anthony Manzano says, Gab, I read somewhere they interviewed a psychologist or psychiatrist. They said the DC sniper was a wannabe military because he was rejected by the Army and Marines because of his antisocial behavior. That could have triggered something in his, nobody cares about me, and I've been rejected by my mommy, and my daddy didn't love me.
So his idea was to shoot people to get rid of that lonely feeling.
Yep.
We will do anything to not feel lonely. We will create anxiety. We'll create OCD. We'll create anything to not feel lonely. It's a tool. Mm-hmm. A panic attack is a tool to make you not feel lonely.
Yep. You hear that, Ayla? Just so you know. Matthew says, I was 8 and cursed my stepmother to a slow and painful death. That's all, though. Anthony says, and that's why he was using
Vader?
These military tactics, because he was a wannabe that was upset that he wasn't allowed to go into the real military. And also, the psychiatrist was seen at the guy wasn't a psychopath, he was a sociopath, because he couldn't understand empathy or have any emotions to understand what he was doing was wrong.
Right.
As Robbie says, the Usos are bloody cheaters, LOL, ha ha. Right.
Boom.
Let's see, Pico says, a lot may be pointed towards movies and video games.
Obviously. Anytime you get desensitized to violence, you're more apt to commit violence. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just normal.
I don't feel that that's true. I feel that it starts with your parents. If your parents say that, oh, that's not a big deal and whatever and everything like that,
if you're
then they're helping you be desensitized, and they're what made you that way, to be desensitized towards those games and stuff.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're desensitized to violence, violence isn't going to disturb you.
Right.
A lot of people don't want to commit violence because they don't want to see what it looks like.
Riddler as a terrorist. But I disagree, because you should know repercussions. And yeah, this kid will be in prison for years.
Yeah.
Well, of course you should know repercussions. Just because there might be something mentally wrong with these people doesn't mean that they shouldn't go to prison for what they did.
Oh, yeah. No, they
that doesn't mean shit. That just means that they are a specimen that people should, dissect.
Right.
And understand. Because where do you point the finger, or not the finger, but where do you go to fix that situation? How can you, figure out a way that those people might be willing to say, I need help, before they hurt somebody?
Right. It starts in grade school.
Right.
They need to teach, in grade school, they need to teach mental health. Cognitive distortions are the most important thing to learn, and they could teach it in preschool, they could teach it in kindergarten, they could teach it in first grade. The only problem is I have a feeling that a lot of those kids would go home and point out the cognitive distortion of their parents, and then their parents might beat them because their parents wouldn't know how to react to it. Mm-hmm. Because cognitive distortions, if you guys don't know what those are, Google them, and you'll find out that you probably have 20 of the 22. Or maybe even 30 of the 22.
It's true.
When you start reading through your cognitive distortions, you'll be like, I do that. I do that. I do that.
Yep.
Anyways, if they started teaching those in grade school, those kids would get weeded out immediately.
Yep.
They'd be weeded out by third grade. You would know anybody that was ever going to be violent. But they're not going to do that because there's no money in it. And they'd rather push other agendas.
Oh, Riddle almost had him, but got pushed into the ring by Jimmy. That jerk.
Because they want to push violence because it keeps people under their thumb. Mm-hmm. Public school is literally designed to separate the elite from the average. That's what it's designed for. And then all the average goes off and is riffraffed.
Matthew says, I lived in the area of the DC Sniper. How much training do you think we get in 4 years, which is the standard timer in service? Oh my, LOL. It was like that 14-year-old who pew-pewed at her school in Twin, I think at the beginning of this year or the end of last year. Pew-pewed, wasn't that the one in Rexburg?
I know there was somebody in Rexburg that did something like that.
Vindicator says, adults are crazy and millennials only care about those likes on their gram and TikTok. Because like, oh, I don't understand the people who are making peaceful protests. Then you have a madman behind the wheel and drive through the crowd, right?
It happens, and it depends on what you consider peaceful protest.
If they're not impeding on anybody else's rights during their protest, then it's peaceful.
Oh,
if they're impeding on other people's rights during their protest, it's not peaceful.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, nobody should run through a crowd of people no matter what they're doing.
Of course not.
But it depends on what is considered peaceful, because there are different things that are considered peaceful that aren't really peaceful. Burning buildings down isn't necessarily what I would call peaceful. Riddle
did
wins!
it! Riddle got him with a fruit roll-up, everybody. Everybody loves those, especially
And in
Matthew.
America, most of these peaceful protests end in violence.
Phil wanted Matt Riddle to win, and he did. Anthony
That
says,
was an 11-minute match.
I gotta go back on here and find it.
Ah. Riddle going to be wrestling Roman here pretty soon.
Let's see. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun.
I can go out there and shut that door.
Right. Anthony says, Gab, that's what scares me about this QAnon Anon movement, that some of these people are going to take it a little bit too far. One of two.
I don't know what that is.
Because they're going to believe everything these politicians that are part of the QAnon movement say, and they might end up shooting up a school or a grocery store. It was like, well, not all millennials. And he was like, I didn't hear that. Oh, about the anxiety attacks. What was it you said about them?
They're a tool to get you away from a feeling.
There you go. So there you go. Matthew says, I smoke pot, drink beer to cope with loneliness, and plot my takeover of the world. So basically, you're pinky and the brain all in one. People's like, dang, Anthony coming in hot with the knowledge. Love it. Love
That
it.
shit was so funny.
Knowledge is good.
I watched it in like fifth or sixth grade, but so I haven't seen it since I was little. But
pinky and the brain.
and then Brain's like,
One is
are
a
you thinking
genius.
what I'm thinking?
The other's insane.
And then Pinky's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
Brian.
yeah, flowers are beautiful and smell good or whatever. And he's like, it's always gets super upset because he wants to take over the world.
Yes.
Every time.
Yes. Because
Yeah.
one's a genius and one's insane. But which one really is insane?
The one hanging out with the psychopath.
But which one's the genius then?
The psychopath.
The brain?
Yeah.
Ayla says, no, video games or movies or music can make you a bad person. That's silly if you think about it logically. Matthew's like, I became a vegetarian at 8 or 9 years old because I understood where meat came from and it was gross. Eating living things still grosses me out.
Right.
You know that plants are living things and that you kill them every time that you eat plants?
The beauty of thinking about something
You're hurting
logically is our brain doesn't work that way.
No.
It works on a subconscious level. Only, I would say like 5% of it works on a conscious level where you're trying to control it. So it's all of what's happening underneath, it's under your control.
Right.
So when you see violence, you are violence, right? You're releasing that energy. And so your body thinks it's real. So when you're playing a sniper game, your body doesn't know that it's not real. Your that's real to your body. It's just how you're perceiving it, so it might not feel stressful, and that's why it will precede violence later, possibly. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to. If that was the case, everybody would be shooting and killing everybody.
Sure.
But it does desensitize you to. So if you were to go to war when you're 25 after playing video games since you were 7 and killing people, you're going to have a different reaction to killing people on the battlefield.
Yeah, you won't cow. Matthew says, I grew up watching war documentaries, LOL, reality. Films like Go, Matt Riddle, Go. Ayla's like, it comes down to the person visually. They still haven't figured out if you're born that way or if it happens along the way. They have noticed the theme of frontal lobe damage.
Right, of course, because there's socialism, or, socialism, where am I going?
Sociopath.
Like a sociopath, which means social, which means society. So society turned them into that. And then you have psycho. Psych means brain, which means that you're born with it. And so you're born with a bad
Something
frontal
wrong with
lobe.
you.
So hypothetically, they should be able to do brain scans on babies.
Yes. And find the psychopaths.
And weed them out.
They can, actually, because they've done it with serial killers. They have literally studied their brains and done scans on their brains, and they do have a difference of how their brain waves react.
Right, yeah, there's blue. Mm-hmm. Cool blue in the front. Same thing with, like, child molesters, right? They take a child molester, put them in there, and show them pictures of naked women, and it just glows blue, where mine would be fucking fire and red. And then they show them children, and then there it files red. Mm-hmm. And then... So we know that. So, I mean, you could basically get rid of these people early. The only problem with that is now we're talking about a government state. And that's basically Hitler, Stalin. I mean, you're just killing people because of what they could have done.
Right. Because you don't know. Not every single one of them would become
to actually follow through with it.
Or a pedophile or whatever in that sense, if you look at it that way.
Right.
Vindicator says, love how Travis and Delete are ignoring this Uso versus Riddle match because we've seen it 700 times. Laughing. Ayla's like, figured not finished. I figured it out. Haha. Piccolo says, but liberal teachers feel gender fluidity is necessary. Because they're groomers and pedophiles themselves? That's called grooming. Literally.
Well, that's...
Literally. Wanting to teach small children about sex and sexuality is called grooming.
Right.
It's gross. Film says, was somebody in the chat talking about Q? Yes. Ayla's like, Lib's crazy. Matthew's like, Film, I know 17, but didn't say anything. Film's like, teaching gender's identity on children is bad. Ayla's like, Rexburg, then I can't remember, but same honesty. Kinda, yeah. Matthew's like, Mr. Al, you know it. Film's like, pray for those kids. They deserve better. They don't need to be around creepy teachers who like to talk about sexual identity. Matthew's like, Riddle is getting a push. I think RK Bro might be coming to an end. Film's like, yes, Matt Riddle wins. Matthew says, Film, I know it. Pico's like, another roll-up. Travis, do you ever keep account of those?
No, I thought about doing it this year, and then I spaced it.
Yeah, we did talk about it, like, last year, talking about how many of them ended in, like, a fruit roll-up, like an actual fruit roll-up. Ernest Bell says, hey, Ayla, how are you? And Matthew says, Anthony Elhook, you need to stop watching CNN. Film's like, Matthew, I'm glad we're on the same page. Ravi says, Riddle, big boy win. Matthew's like, Film, you know what's up. Ravi's like, Edge coming out. And Pickle says, I enjoyed Ren and Stimpy myself.
Love
Ren and Stimpy was hilarious. Anthony says, there's a huge difference between a psychopath and a sociopath. A psychopath understands and has the emotions to realize what he's doing is wrong. So, sociopath doesn't. A psychopath really doesn't understand the emotions.
First of all, if you look it up, there's no such thing as a difference.
Yeah.
In your medical book. So
yeah,
there's that.
They're
but
kind
if
of
you want to just use the word, because people like to use both words.
Yeah.
One means social, which means societal. The other one means psych, which means brain. That's the only difference. But if you start looking it up in the medical textbooks, they're exactly the same. You can just use either word for either one.
Yes. And most serial killers are both. And what's wrong with serial killers is that they don't care. They don't have the emotional capacity. They just don't. Their emotions aren't there. So what they do to live through life and never get caught is they mimic what they think they should feel in situations.
Right.
So that's how they do it.
Some
Hence,
of them.
Psychopath. Not all of them, but a good portion of them who are very intelligent.
Dahmer,
that's what they do.
Dahmer felt pain and emotion. Like he knew what he was doing was wrong.
True.
But he couldn't stop.
True.
And so he drank himself basically to death. And then he'd black out and kill people when he was blacked out drunk too.
Right.
Also, he did it when he was sober, by the way, also.
Yes.
But I'm just saying that some people do realize what they're doing is wrong also.
Right. But it's not.
That would be more of a societal thing.
Right.
There's something wrong. Basically, he's acting on an emotion instead of just letting emotion just be.
Yes.
But so he's fascinating. There's a few that are fascinating.
Because his is different.
But
He's completely different. Like, he is the only one that they ever interviewed in the main, like, huge serial killers you talk about and they did textbooks about and all this stuff, that he ever had remorse.
Yeah, no, he hated it.
None of them.
He knew it was going to hurt his family.
Never
he knew
did.
He didn't want his mom to have to deal with that. He didn't want his dad to have to deal with that.
So we've got the Judgment Day up here now.
Oh, Judgment Day.
That's what we're seeing. You're not getting it yet.
it?
They're telling you.
Are
So
you
if you're
really
listening to
getting it?
Damien, he's telling you. Ravi's like, Edge coming out for ED. Well, you already knew what was going on Raw right now tonight. Ravi, you didn't need me to tell you.
He just needs to
like,
get her
"Whoa."
haircut also. And then they would all three have the same haircut.
That's gross and weird. Film's like, yes, here comes Liv Morgan. Pico's like, Liv be plaiding it up. I know, she had plaid on. There was like every plaid color and combination you could possibly get and put it all on one shirt. It's kind of creepy, actually. And then he says, I don't watch corporate media. I can't trust anything from either Fox or CNN or MSNBC. It was like, I have functional anxiety attacks on regular, as in I can still perform tasks. I just have a hard time breathing, heart racing, sweaty hands, racing thoughts, obsessive thoughts. People's
Right.
like, Anthony, I don't know if I've seen you in here before. Welcome to the chat. Sometimes we talk wrestling. Matthew's like, Roger that, Anthony. However, Q isn't about hate and violence. Know who are? The radical left. It was like, I meant frontal lobe damage. Like, they got hurt as
Yes,
a kid. There's
absolutely.
a few I can think of. Yes. Proofs is in the chat. Hey, Proofs. What
Hey, boss.
matches are happening tonight for women? Asuka and Becky?
Ooh, Asuka and Becky are definitely going to happen. And it looked like something maybe that the tag team champions are wrestling each other.
Yeah, that's what somebody said earlier, too, that's what was happening.
But I don't know how true that is. Because
Yeah.
I haven't seen that poster
Kiko
yet.
says, Ayla, do your knees get weak, palms get sweaty, vomit in your sweater already? Mom's spaghetti.
With some mom spaghetti in there.
Matthew says, Ayla, I feel on that too. I get so in my head in public most of the time. Vindicator says, I might leave early tonight because Becky Lynch, of all people, is the main event. She already spilled the one from last week. Is she the main event? Chris says, oh, my boy Garza trying to talk to Liv and acting shy around Balor and Styles. Ayla's like, Pete Fat Lisa laughing. Yes. Robbie's like, Becky Lynch main event stinking out the place. Matthew says, I'm over Becky. She overacts. T-Rex is better than Google. Because like, Bex has always been a ham. It was like one can mimic behavior. What's his face was perfect at it. And why was he perfect at it? Because he took psychology classes. He was the handsome one that killed in Idaho. Anthony says, I read a rumor recently about apparently they were going to put Harland in the Judgment Day with Edge, Damian Priest, and Rhea Ripley.
Harland? What?
Interesting.
He doesn't even wrestle anymore. Didn't
Right?
they fire
Didn't they
him?
fire him? I thought they got rid of him. Robbie says, what's going on Raw tonight? Told you. Pico's like, military
fun
did
stuff.
show me how to mirror. It was Robbie asking, and I already answered it because I said the Judgment Day's on there right now. Pico says, military did show me how to mirror others to make them feel comfortable.
Right,
Matthew
yeah,
says,
absolutely.
and that is almost like mirroring empathy. That's like mirroring empathy. That's
Yeah, if
creepy.
you mirror the person you're talking to, like if they're touching their face and you start touching your face, you know, they will trust you.
Yep.
It's a natural thing.
Matthew
Unless
says,
you know that they're doing it, and then it's
and then
kinda
it's just
weird.
fucking creepy.
But,
and you're
but,
like, what are you
but
doing?
90% of the population isn't aware of their own fucking thoughts, let alone their own what somebody else is trying to do to trick them.
Right? Matthew's like, Anthony, I'm going Judgment Day summons the Fiend. Pico's like, yeah. It was like, not all of them are serial killers. I don't want to get my comment blocked by YouTube. Film's like, don't like Rhea Ripley's suit, if you know what I mean. You didn't like her gray suit? Is it because
Probably
it had
covering up
sleeves?
her armpits, yeah.
It's what happens when you're wearing nice suits, my fan. You don't show off your armpits, sweetie. And she's not in her wrestling gear. She's in regular street clothing.
All
so
right,
it looks
here
good.
comes the Livinator.
Liv is happening if you guys are excited. There you go, Vin. There's some Liv for you. Anthony Manzano says, Gab, they actually did a psych profile on John Wesley Harding that all the West gunslinger to understand why the guy had no qualms about killing innocent people, even though he wasn't a serial killer.
Who was that?
His name was John Wesley Harding.
Huh.
Pico says, are you guys watching ESPN 2? There's like some cool dog competition. No, but now I want to.
No. I mean, we can, but...
I want to see what's on there. So I guess she's kind of with Finn Balor.
Right,
in them
until
now.
Finn turns on AJ and joins Judgment Day. That's the big rumor right now.
Oh, that he's going to go over there because he has kind of the haircut and he needs to be bad. Walter's in the chat, though. Hey, Walter says, hey, Ayla. And Ayla says, hi, Walter. Pico says, it's called the AKC Diving Dogs Competition. I've seen some of those. Those are pretty crazy. They're pretty cool, though. Walter's like, okay, at 9:35 p.m. I'm going. My time Wednesday, 8 p.m. Be here.
Okay.
Matthew says, Cola.
I have a
Is it the Westminster
comment
Dog Show
question for Vin. To me, because it's a comment question, so it's basically, to me, what they're doing with Liv is just making her character worse and worse. And the reason for it, in my opinion, because I was coming around to her there after the New Year, but they're making her look so desperate for friends that it's ridiculous. Do you remember, like, so a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, she came out and with Rhea, and she was like all like dancing with her, and they were like besties. Do you remember? Anyways, on Twitter they had all these things, and she was doing like, because Rhea would do that big kick, you know how she does that big kick, and then Liv was like doing something with her, and it was all exciting. Well, anyways, this week on Twitter, now she's in the ring with him and AJ Styles and Finn Balor, and she's doing the too sweet thing. Like, it's like she's just desperate for a friend. That's how it's coming off. So now, it to me, it just feels very desperate. And I'm just wondering if you see it that way.
Yeah,
Because
Vindicator,
to me,
how do you see what they're doing with her character?
because I feel like they're just...
I'd ask Luke, but I think he fell asleep or
It's
ran away.
desperate. Yeah, we were talking about mental health. It's terrifying. A lot of people, by the way, when you bring up mental health, are gone.
Yes. So thank you, everybody who stuck around during our mental health.
It's very uncomfortable to feel.
Yeah. So we understand that. We do. Let's see. So it was a diving dogs competition. That's pretty cool, diving dogs. It was like, you should rename wrestling question mark Gab.
I broke out.
Pico says, good to see you, Walter. Matthew's like, diving dogs? And Ernest Bell says, mine sucked then. Anthony says, and I'm a big fan of the Old West, and I'm kind of surprised psychologists and psychiatrists weren't able to pin down what caused John Wesley Harding to do that, Gab. It could probably just be either stuff that
Oh, wrong one.
they talked about. So it could just be what he talked, like how he talked, or stories that were told, or what they wrote down that he said if they interviewed him about why he did stuff and things like that. It really is just kind of weird stuff like that. That's kind of how they do it, and then they go back and say, well, why did they do this kind of thing? So Walter says, boo. Edge, and Matthew says, wrestling timed Gab, LOL. Ayla's like, sometimes wrestling, most of the time Gab. Vindicator's like, boo, Walter, hot, just kidding. Walter's
Hey,
like,
Luke's
I
back in
heard
here.
Ric Flair will wrestle in a final match in a different company. Yeah.
I did hear that he's trying to make a comeback.
Weirdo.
Don't call it a comeback.
And just Bell's like, who's your next guest on your show?
We don't have guests.
We don't have guests.
We should have guests.
Like
Probably
who?
Ayla. It'll be on the 4th of July
Yeah.
weekend, not the 4th of July.
Yeah. That
Unless they
weekend.
want to come over for the 4th of July. I guess they could. It's a Monday.
Ayla says girls with functional autism can mask really well. Most of the time you'd never know. So not just serial killers can mimic. Matthew says, Walter, a couple weeks ago, Flair and Jay Lethal were training together. And Vindicator says, Liv, but we don't need Balor and Styles. Angry face. And Pico's like, actually, I don't care about silly Liv. Chris says, join the Dark Order. And Chris says, Liv acting all shy to Finn and AJ is so high school. Blech. Robbie's like, Liv coming out to embarrass herself. Anthony says, do not see that happening. I sometimes don't trust these dirty sheets with the rumors are getting. It feels like sometimes they get second or third hand rumors, not a direct source, Gab. True.
Luke is here. He's listening in the background.
Very
He's
true.
like, you bastards.
Walter's like, Balor and Styles for the win. Matthew's like, Anthony, you need to tell that to Sophie, although she's not here. Ayla's like, how often do you wash your sheets? Ha ha ha. Chris says, so now Liv is looking like Julia Hart position with House of Black. Ravi's message retracted. Looks like I'm still here. Vindicator's like, I can't understand that point a little bit, Travis. I have been saying they should never stop giving her a singles push. She should just get another title shot before Asuka, who has been out for months.
Right. No, I'm just talking about her character. So, period. A couple months ago, she was like besties, and it was like a girlfriend crush on Rhea. It wasn't like they were best friends and it was mutual. It was like she was trying to be Rhea. So she changed her outfit. She changed a lot of her appearance to be with Rhea. And then when Rhea would come out and do that leg kick thing, she did like something with it. Like you can go look it up on the internet, the entrance. And she was so happy about it and everything else. Well, anyways, Rhea turned on her, blah, blah, blah. But now she's doing the same thing now with Finn Balor and AJ Styles. So all I was saying is, to me, it just makes it look desperate. Like she's desperate for a friend. She just wants somebody to, like she's just saying, please like me.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if you're seeing it the same way, because I might be a little bit different bias. Or Luke, answer the same question. Are you seeing the same thing I'm seeing, or am I just delusional?
Right. It says, at first I was afraid, I was petrified. Robbie says, Liv totally desperate. Matthew's like, Luke is just watching the dogs. Luke's like, can I not just chill and watch and listen to stream? No. You have to interact. Just kidding. Pickle is like, wish they would put Liv on NXT. Robbie says, Ayla, we get it, LOL. Ernest Bell says, Quest is their delight in wrestling.
What? Quest something?
Is their delight in wrestling.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know either. But sure, there can be delight. Ayla's like,
Afternoon
Luke, no,
delight.
chatter, turn in your blue and go away. Matthew's like, I know that song. Film's like, is Liv not wrestling tonight? Oh, come on. Minicator's like, but she needs allies now because her number one enemy has allies, so it makes sense from that standpoint. And Luke's like, bite me, Ayla. And Ayla's like, me too, Matthew. Film's like, I'm here to see some armpits, beautiful women's armpits in WWE. That's it. Pico's like laughing at Luke, and Matthew's like a little smartass. Vindicator says, Ayla better shoot fireworks on camera. Ayla's like, surprise everyone, haha, I'll be here the 4th of July weekend, suck a fish. Travis giving spoilers. I know, what a fuck.
I said they can come for the 4th of July.
I know.
We could do it on the deck and do fireworks in the background during the show.
Matthew says we still have 2 returns tonight, right? Oh, yeah, because we have a dumb Raw.
Wait, I don't think so. We got the Mysterios back, and I'm pretty sure that's probably at least one of them. Obviously, it's not the AEW.
Yeah, that had to be one of the returns because you know how Calm Down was gone for a while. Ernest Bell says, bad guys win. Robbie's like, Liv should join the Dark Order. Matthew says, Ayla, I didn't say nothing. Ayla's like, no, you didn't, Judy. Good job.
Aww,
Ernest Bell says, bad guys win or wrestling sucks.
You know what's funny about this dog thing?
Aww.
Is that the dogs don't give a fuck if they win or lose.
No, they're just having a good time.
They gotta jump in the
love
pool.
It.
Like,
I get my toy! Get my fucking toy! My toy! Look at it! There it goes!
he didn't go very far, but that's cute. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they are competitive, obviously, but they're not. Like, for the human aspect of it.
Let's see.
That girl got a kiss.
Ursula's like, bad guys win or wrestling sucks.
Oh, she's gonna pass out.
Not everybody is a bad guy that wins.
Poor girl.
She just looks so weird in that picture.
Well, yeah, she's
Looks
dying.
like my issue is I can no longer tell if Liv is the one pushing for her character to be like this, or is WWE literally giving her the same story to keep her happy. And from leaving, I see what you're saying, Trav, but I honestly have a hard time believing this is what Liv wants. I think the WWE is so afraid to give her a push because she is popular. I honestly can't figure out what is going on with Liv in WWE. Like, it's clear as day that behind the scenes, Liv is loved by the locker room, male and female. So it's like the WWE said, let's just use her real life as a character, but let's push it up to 11. LOL.
Yeah, I just hope that she's not desperate.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's what it's coming off of.
Yeah.
It to me, obviously.
I'm desperately seeking friends.
Like, no matter what, please be my friend.
I have to conform to fit in your group.
And then, hypothetically, if Finn turns on AJ, like it is rumored, obviously that's a light rumor, and then he joins the, what was that band called? The Judgment Day. Then is she just going to go somewhere else and do it again somewhere else?
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's just weird.
That poor dog. That dog wants that fucking toy so bad.
Talitha is more interested in the dog
Sorry.
jumping. But we do have both on. She's shitting on me.
Matthew's like, thanks,
God.
Al, LOL. Vinegar says,
tipped
Liv
over
being friendly
backwards.
has also been a part of character, which why she was in the Riot Squad. It's her real life persona as well, and they want some of these wrestlers to be close to real as possible.
Right.
Chris Akane says, come on, Garza, about Liv. Chris says Liv wanted to join Los Lotharios. Pico says, I'm having a great time seeing the doggos. Haha. They're pretty
Me
cool.
too, right now.
They're exciting.
Now, do they have different sizes here? Like, is there size? Because I feel like some of those dogs they just showed were smaller.
It's just type of breeds, and then so it's an AKC, so they're like breeds of dogs.
That dog can barely swim. That's like a Great Dane.
Oh, he looks so happy doing it though.
Well, that's what I
didn't he?
mean. There's no competition. Like, he
Right?
can't be embarrassed. He's having a gay old time.
Whee!
Yeah, he doesn't jump up. He jumps out. He don't even look at his toy. He's
He
like,
only
I
got
can't catch
19
it.
feet 9 inches a second dive. Millie, ranking of 4th. Sorry.
All right. Anyways,
Los
Los
Lotharios
Lotharios.
are getting their butts beat, of
Oh.
course, as per normal.
Humberto Carrillo. Look, we got a new tag team. I'm okay with this tag team right here, by the way. Finn and AJ.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, they're keeping them together to wrestle the Judgment Day.
Yes. Matthew says WWE invested too much money into Becky, Ronda, and Charlotte, which means that everyone else is stuck in limbo. Sophie said, hey, hi, did you enjoy the opening steel cage match?
I did. I
was
didn't mind it
pretty
at
good.
all.
It wasn't too bad. It was like, is there a dog show, or are you guys calling the wrestlers dogs?
There is a dog. It's a jumping, like water
Diving.
jumping.
Yeah.
Like they throw a ball and see how far they can jump.
Vindicator
Into
says,
the water.
for me, the kiss cam tonight is a 5 out of 10. Very average. Definitely no Liv. Vindicator's like the kiss cam girl. Piccolo says, ooh, labs are so perfect. Matthew's like, Al, it's actually a cheerleading competition. Sophie says, it looks like we might get a 6-person tag match inside Hell in a Cell with AJ, Finn, Liv versus Rhea, Damian, and Edge. That will be fresh. Chris says Liv was going to join Los Lotharios, but AJ and Finn cock blocked. It says, I'm listening to Peppa Pig in the background and watching stream. Sophie says, they moved these guys from SmackDown with no explanation.
They
Matthew
don't care.
says, so the pigs want war. Cow mother will not be pleased. Vindicator says, so these competition dogs love the water, but what about Naxos? He played in the sprinklers today,
Dude,
I guess.
I had the goddamn sprinkler on, and it's one of those like type, and it's on a tripod, and I have it on the lowest level possible, so it's at eye level. Don't do that. He fucking stands in front of it, and it just nails him in the face, and he's like trying to bite it, and then he goes over and just hacks up lung. He's like, and then he goes back and does it again. I'm like, it's hitting
His
you
brain
in the.
has been fried from
It's hitting you in the
seizures.
throat because you're opening your mouth.
That's fun. This looks fun.
Goes
Let's
in
do it
his
again.
ear, and he's like trying to like get it out of his ear. I'm like, dude. And he sat there for like a half hour playing with it. I'm like, or am I even watering my grass at this point?
Well, you are. And then he helped water other parts of it. So he's like, Chicago's going to have 2 pay-per-views next month, Hell in a Cell, and that AEW
Yeah.
Japan pay-per-view at the end of the month. And this Raw was sold out. Ayla's like, my kids love Peppa Pig. They're speaking British at me lately because of it. They want to play in the garden instead of the yard.
That's awesome. I don't know what that is, but that sounds awesome.
Peppa Pig, it's just like a learning cartoon kind of thing.
Is it on PBS?
I don't know if it was on PBS. It might have been. Looks like I honestly have no... Oh, I already read that one. Film says, go Finn and AJ, go. And as Luke says, oh, goody, here comes the news reporter. LOL. And Pico says, I don't know why putting Finn in a tag team is a good thing. And Pico is like, oh, how precious about your Naxos. Matthew's like, oh, Luke, I won't be getting a swift kick in the ass tonight. Rev's like, AJ, a Finn, the makeshift tag team. Matthew says, I never cared for Finn. Looks like Pepper the Pig is on PBS. You mean Peppa Pig? It was like, I think it's a Nickelodeon show. They watch it on YouTube and Paramount. You guys, I have absolutely no idea. I don't have small children. Mine are furry and they don't really give a shit about pigs on TV.
Mine grew up. No, she's mean.
Whatever, she was mean when she was little. I don't know where you're getting off that she grew up and now she's mean. What the fuck? They're doing a shake off camera. That's pretty funny. That guy didn't even care. He's just like, I'm ready. Let's go again.
They're like,
Come
open
on,
the
come on,
door.
come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Hello.
Let's
They're
go.
like,
Okay, I shook. All right, let's go. Let's go.
you're too heavy. You can't do it. Oh, look at that.
Whoa.
Little Boston crab there.
They pretzeled him a little and then did stuff. It was like, watch it. It's great. No, it's mind-numbing. Looks like Peppa. Yes, Peppa.
I'm pretty sure
like,
anything's better than the Teletubbies.
Right?
That shit was the worst.
Yeah,
And you know,
Ayla.
every kid I ever met, just, they love, like, it's just
I
these
know.
weird, I think it's the voices. Like, what the?
Cody did too. Like, you could put it out. She'd be like,
Teletubbies.
and I'm just like, oh God, kid. Like,
You're like,
no.
nope.
Oh, hell no.
We're gonna
We ain't
watch-
watching this shit. We're watching Looney Tunes.
Anything else?
Looks like Peppa the pig is is as infuriating as Kalu. LOL. Kalalu. Well, it's like, where's the
Caillou.
kitten with energy in my lap? He had to get shots today, so he's a little, he's a little tuckered out, I guess.
Caillou.
Oh, Caillou.
Yeah, he's a little boy with cancer.
What the fuck? They made a show about a kid with cancer, and then what? He does things?
Okay, well, first of all, we don't know that he has cancer, but he's bald.
Oh.
And
I'm
he's like
what?
6. And he's bald.
Oh. Matthew says, T-Rex, what's your top 3 submission moves?
Ooh, submission moves. Can submission also be like tapping out, like just going out, like sleep? Because I always like the sleeper hold. I know they don't use it much anymore, but I always like the sleeper hold. The camel clutch with the Iron Sheik, and then obviously the Scorpion Deathlock were my 3 favorites. But there's a lot of other ones that I like. But those are my 3 favorites, especially the camel clutch and the Scorpion Deathlock.
There you go.
Because Sting was the shiznit.
I was like, hey, I never watched that. I watched Barney. Sure you did. Sure. Just kidding. I was like, Peppa Pig, is that what you like, Ayla? Ayla's, or Pepper Pig, but yes, everybody likes pig that's been peppered. Hello, duh.
Whoa!
It was like Tubby's was more Jacob's age range. Actually, it wasn't. It was like, it's older than that.
Well, she's about his age, isn't she?
Cody?
I think they're the same age, or really close.
Well, maybe.
What year was she born?
97.
Oh, he's 99.
Robbie says, oh, Ayla. And Matthew says, sleeper counts.
Look
Chris
at
says,
look at this dog. It's a long-haired shepherd. 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, I can jump. I wonder if they can get one of those Malamays in
I'm
there.
the winners, Finn and AJ. They got it. Finn's got his jaw broken again. Poor little Lotharios. They're just getting this shit into the sticks.
Now is Liv going to get in the ring with him?
I don't know. I just don't even know why she's there. It's so weird.
Because of Rhea with Judgment Day.
Get it. First dive was 21.6. The second dive was 22.7.
I watch those Malamays jump, and they jump forever. Like, I've seen them jump hedges they look like they're like 40 feet. Mm-hmm. It's like they never go down.
Yeah, I don't know if they had a Malinois. Hey, P-Cola, you're watching that diving thing. Have they had a Malinois on there? A Belgian Malinois? Just out of curiosity. Let's see, Chris says, surprise Liv wasn't wearing her fuck me pumps tonight. She is. They're boots.
Oh, there, see? This is what I'm talking about. Now watch her.
Like, it's okay. You can do it, too.
See? Now she's, like, cool all of a sudden. It's what she did with Rhea. It's the same thing. To me, it comes off as desperate.
So
like, oh, they're accepting me?
cringe.
I can do it?
It's totally cringe for
That's
me.
me.
Totally cringe.
Here it is, DNA results!
Oh, my God. It's the DNA results. It was like, Travis knows about my Barney addiction.
Yes. Yeah. Barney was the shiznit back in those days, too.
Matthew's like, Steiner Riker is better than the camel clutch. Steiner recliner, sorry.
Same thing. But
People's
yeah,
like,
like
Texas Clover, he winked. He's like, wink. By the way. Pico says Texas Cloverleaf is a classic. Maybe a master lock or whatever Bobby calls his.
Hurt lock,
The hurt lock.
The full Nelson is what it is. Oh, shit. Otis
and his barbecue sauce. He must have been eating pulled pork and smoked ribs before the show. He's wearing Sami Zayn's shirt.
Uh-huh.
This is useless. Robbie says, Liv trying too hard to fit in. I made a girl cry for doing that, by the way.
Oh, at work?
No. It wasn't a job, but it was like 20 years ago.
You're so mean to people.
Whatever, she fucking deserved it. Why didn't you like me? Why didn't you like me? That's why she kept asking me, and I was like, you really want to know why I don't like you? And so I let her have it, why I didn't like her. And she cried. I was like, told you. Shouldn't have asked.
What was it?
That she's doing exactly what Liv's doing, but in real life.
Like she
literally would try to conform herself to be whatever people that were around her were like. So she just did it just to fit in, but she didn't know who she was.
Right, she's probably just lonely.
And so that's what I...
No empathy. Delete that.
I told her. I didn't like her. I didn't like her the whole time.
Dog jumped like 8 feet.
Oh, don't be mean to a puppy.
I can't be mean to him. He don't care. He had fun.
He's
He
like,
jumped in the
yay,
pool.
I don't want to jump that far. Don't be mean to me, Mama. Why are you making me go get stuff? Wee.
That's cute. Oh, last Monday, we're going to see some Blister here. That's a pretty good jump for just standing there and jumping.
Yeah, he jumped about 12 or 13 feet.
That's what they should do. A competition where there's no running. They stand there and jump.
And then jump. He got a 12-3 and a 14-3. He's ranking 15th, and his name's Fish.
He's a fish out of water lying out of the jungle.
I read this one story. It was pretty funny. This lady was like, yeah, I told my husband that we were going to the pet store, blah, 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 and we were bringing home a fish. She came home with a puppy, and she said, meet Fish.
And here's Fish. I feel so bad for Sonya. Hopefully she's better moving forward. Bliss has new music? Bliss has new music.
So she's not going to be the weirdo thing anymore. She's just going to be whatever.
It's like some punk kind of music.
With her doll still, but still.
She still has the doll.
Walter's like, Balor and Styles won, yes. And Vindicator says, Travis, is Naxos a good athlete, or has he weighed down too much with all those doggy treats you spoil him with? LOL.
He's a little fat. And he can't back up. So.
He is not as fat as he was, though. He has lost quite a bit of weight. He actually looks pretty good.
My female would be stellar at this jumping thing. She'd probably compete very well with that.
Uh-huh.
But she passed away. And my 2 boys would suck.
Yeah. Pico says, Kiwi. And Walter says, okay, bye, guys. See you Wednesday for AEW. Bye, Walter. See you Wednesday.
I mean, Argus would definitely jump in the pool. I don't even know if Naxos would get in. He might. But he'd be like,
Robbie's like, Finn and AJ, who would have thought that would work? Matthew says later, Walter. Pico's like, no, I don't believe so.
Did somebody just say who knew that would work? They were in a group together in New Japan for
yeah, Robbie, duh.
years.
I didn't know that, but there you go. There's your info as to why they work together so well. They need to go over to AEW with the rest of our Bullet Club weirdos.
Yeah, with the same people.
Pico says, no, I don't believe so. Ayla says, Tubbies came out in 97. I was born in 91. There you go. Matthew says, Cole, I love the Cloverleaf. I used to do it when I wrestled as a teen in a basement.
Sonya getting a rematch. I wonder if she's going to pull a Bianca and get payback.
Maybe. Pico says, bye, Walter. Take her easy. And Matthew says, Cole, I love... Oh, I already read that. And Chris Akane says, Liv, too sweet. And Ayla's like, light, Walter. Chris says, Shush Gang is here. Matthew's like, 91, that explains it all. Ayla's like, 91, I meant 31. Then he hears like, Otis is the authority on barbecue sauce, not next to Travis, LOL. Rob is like, LOKO, and the alpha cracked me up. Matthew's like, shush. Chris says KO and Otis barbecue cook-off. Robbie says LOD stop being a bully. And Matthew says 31 makes sense. LOL. Chris says, thank you. Thank you. Pico says Alpha Academy and KO might be the only good thing about this show. Okay, back to the dogs. It was like, yes, definitely. I'm still alive, so that's cool. Chris was like, damn, Sonya. And Film's like, yes, the armpit hippie gotta say Alexa Bliss. Let's go. Robbie's like, Bliss is god-awful in the ring. Matthew says, I have no idea how I'm alive. I got close, haha. I just know that the daddy, I'm finally happy. I'll be struck down by God, lol. Vindicator says, I will watch dogs splash in the pool before I watch any more Bliss, who still can't wrestle. It's on ESPN2 if you have that, Vin, so you can watch dogs jump.
Yeah, she's going up against Sonya.
Luke says, it's a mashup of her creepy entrance and her goddess theme. She had it last week.
Is that the same one? It sounded way different to me.
Pico says, yeah, Ayla was born in the year of the grunge. And Chris says, they just need to team Liv and Alexa because they basically are the same aesthetic. Matthew's like, and AIDS. What? Matthew?
They can't put Liv and Bliss together because Bliss is more popular. It would just be another instance where she's trying to be the cool person. They need to bring up somebody like Aaliyah and make Aaliyah follow her around like a puppy dog.
Right. Matthew
that
says
might work.
Pico says laughing. And Robbie says, Ayla, if you can feel your heartbeat, then you are alive. And Chris says, Alexa and Sonya unzips pants. Oh, God, Chris. Matthew's like, oh, cool, we upset her, lol. I was like, yes, and I'm proud, very proud. Matthew's like, well, I upset her.
It smells like Teen Spirit.
It smells like Teen Spirit.
Dun, 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 dun.
Jackson's first dive was 22 feet, but his second dive was only 20'7". He's tied for fourth.
It's like a boxer?
It's an AKC one, so it's like purebred dog breeds that are doing this. They may or may not be good at it, but they're going to have fun, right?
Right.
Their dogs are just like, I love jumping in the water and getting stuff, Mom. Thanks, Dad and Mom. I love it. Look, I got my wubby. Look, he's got a wubby. He's got a purple wubby.
He's a slow-ass swimmer.
Hey, he is a boxer. He's lucky to be alive and able to go out there and jump in the water. Matthew's like, it's on, Mr. Al. There's a pill now. Ayla's like, AIDS, the coolest part of the 90s. Robbie's like, oh, Matthew, that's funny. Chris says, but Jamie Hayter doesn't unzip pants, throws all clothes off. Jeez. Pickle's like, they come to snuff the Ayla microphone.
They come to snuff the rooster.
It was like, I don't live in Florida. I'm not concerned. Vindicator says this version of Bliss is not popular than Liv, but funny enough, Liv and Aaliyah are real life close friends who train together all through NXT, but Aaliyah is on SmackDown. Ayla's laughing and Pico's like, me and my outdated Alice in Chains reference. Well, there you go, film. There's some other women's armpits of Sonya Deville having a rematch against Bliss. And, yes, Matthew, she looks like a dominatrix. Just for you.
Buried in.
He says it was an 80s and 90s thing. Magic Johnson popularized it. He was what Jordan was for Nike with AIDS.
Right.
Matthew's like, Sonya, yummy.
They lied to us about AIDS, and they forced the lie on us for years.
And still kind of tried to do it.
And it kind of destroyed cancer research. We'd be so much further along if they wouldn't have lied to us about AIDS.
Yep.
But they had straight people worried about catching AIDS. Like,
yeah.
It was a big deal. Like, and it turns out that it was all a big lie, big scam. But
Matthew's like, I love Sonya.
But everybody overreacted. Imagine that. Overreacted to a virus.
Overreacted?
It's like I've heard of that before, but I don't remember where.
That's so strange. How did that ever happen? Was it because the mainstream media pumped it up to be something it really wasn't?
I think it's Fauci and then the girl that Trump had. Remember that girl that was on there? I think she was the one that led that with the AIDS stuff.
Oh, yeah. You know what's even more funny is you didn't hear any more from her about any of that COVID stuff when Trump was gone. It was just
I don't know where
Mr.
she came
Fauci and his lies. Anyways, back to wrestling. Oh, Bliss is
Well,
Sonya
if this match has already lasted longer, look at
Sonya's
that.
doing a lot
Sonya.
better this time.
1, 2. Bliss.
It was like George's mom still believes that only rainbows get AIDS, so it's still storage. It's still strange. Vindicator says, too funny Cody gets a countdown clock. Now that seems desperate on McMahon's part to keep viewers interested.
You can get AIDS if you're a female and then the male has an ejaculation inside of her.
Robbie says,
But a straight man isn't going to get AIDS from a straight woman. Like that, it just doesn't happen.
Robbie says, I bet Sonya loses. Just be like WWE to do that type of shit, LOL. I don't know, she lost the last time and she's lasted 3 times as long this time so far. Pickle sucks. I can remember some weirdos saying watch for used syringes in movie seats and in public phone slots because you may get stuck with it.
Oh yeah, that, and you remember like the toys in McDonald's, and like it was a big deal. Like silly stuff.
Weird.
Very weird times. The 90s.
Matthew says, did
And
y'all
their
hear
lies.
that insurance companies are perplexed by a 40% increase in life insurance payouts last year? Not from the sprinkles. What caused that spike? People that probably killed themselves, but it was probably deemed an accident.
Yeah, I don't know how they did that with the suicides because of the COVID. Because I know they didn't put those in the records, you know, like people killing themselves because of COVID.
Even if somebody, like, overdosed on drugs, it could still be considered an accidental death.
Right.
And if somebody had life insurance on them, then they would get the life insurance on them. And that's what most of them were. Crazy.
Anyways,
Because, like, living
Bliss
in the
is getting
90s
her ass.
was cool,
That's
though.
it. 1,
I hear you,
2.
people, right?
Oh,
So
no.
much
Bliss
better.
kicks out.
You didn't have this attached to everybody. You didn't have this, like what we're doing right now, really.
What was that?
The 90s, that they were cool, though. You had to
Well, yeah, 'cause
live
you could-
outside. You had to actually live life. Like, real life had to happen.
Yep.
I really do miss that. I try to make sure I, like, go away from technology.
Different time. Oh, look at this. Sonya stripping the top.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Turnbuckle.
Okay, I won't do it. I'm sorry, ref.
He said mind your own business.
He's like, let me fix this.
Uh-oh, she's going to cheat. That's not a cheat, though. Oh, she screwed herself. She had her. With a spine buster. Bliss just lost to a spine buster if the referee was paying attention.
Those bastards. It was like, she's firm about it, too. If you try and explain things like science, blood transfusions, IV drug, that's made up.
Right.
People's
Yeah, the
opinions.
transfusions were a big deal. Hopefully that stuff still doesn't go on, because that's the saddest part about it.
Yeah, because that did actually happen.
Yeah, oh, yeah. 2
the-
and 3.
The blood transfusion supply, the blood supply for blood transfusion was tainted with AIDS. It was a big scary thing, and I know it was a big scary thing because I got my tonsils out in the 80s, and I had I almost bled to death, and they thought they were gonna have to give me a transfusion, and my mom freaked out.
Yeah, it was a big
She was
deal.
like, oh, hell no, you are not giving my kid a blood transfusion. If anything, you're going to take blood from one of us, and I'm pretty sure one of us matches. And my dad, I have the same type as my dad, and I'm O positive. So my dad has O positive, so we were fine. I couldn't have got it from my mom, though, because she's the Rh negative. She's A negative.
Yeah, and
She's not
and then obviously
universal
the
donor.
needle drugs are, there again.
Yep, that was it.
Just
too.
another
Phone's like, go
consequence.
armpit hippie goddess, go. She won it, so there you go. You should be excited. And he's all woo, and Robbie's like, Piccolo, were you the man in the 90s? Matthew's like, government psychological operations psyops. And the people's like laughing my ass off. Robbie, may have been my
shit.
peak. I think it
Another.
was all our peaks, right? She's all pissed.
She just hit an official. So what's going to happen to who?
She can get in trouble.
Is she going to get a
fined.
taste of her own medicine? Remember how she was fining people and all that?
Consequences. It's a consequence. Consequences.
Are we getting close to the top of the hour? Yeah.
Yes.
Cody's on a countdown timer, so we're about 9 minutes away from seeing Cody.
Well, I'm going to go get some food. I'm hungry.
Go pee for me.
I can't. Do you want to go pee first? Hurry, go. I'll read the rest of the chat.
Okay.
Hurry, run.
Right.
Quick.
Well, why don't you wait and then you can go during commercial? So there's something for me to do.
Why would I go during the commercial when I could
No, I
go
mean,
during the
well,
wrestling?
that's what I meant. And there's going to be a commercial.
Well, this is the commercial.
This is live.
It's the commercial.
It's not a commercial until a commercial starts.
It's a commercial.
You're making it.
I'm not making up anything. Let's see. Films like Go Alexa Bliss, Go I Love You Bliss. Matthew says the spike is because of the mirror. Minikir says, yeah, neither Bliss or Sonya doing anything to wake the crowd up, wasting people's time with this rematch instead of bringing up new talent to showcase like they did with Braun Breaker. Pico says, TBF, when you're in their 20s, things are just better. Don't get old, Ravi. Ayla's like, Ravi won't be 20 for another 4 to 8 years. He's fine. Ravi's like, I told you Bliss would win. Matthew's like, with the previously mentioned comment of mine, Red Cross limits donors with certain manufacturers' remedies. They'd have to. They can't have them because that is just a synthetic drug that's masking what they really have. So no matter what, their blood is still fucking tainted.
Taint.
You cannot fix it. It's not going to just go away. You're not cured. You still have the fucking disease.
It's just untransmittable.
It's just maybe so it's suppressed enough that you can't transmit it to other people. And it might be suppressed enough with all those drugs that you're putting in your body, synthetic man-made shit that they're putting in their bodies that might possibly make it so you don't get, like, AIDS. You have HIV, though, and you will always be HIV positive. No matter what, if you get tested and they say, well, if you get tested, you have the likelihood of not testing positive, but you still are motherfucking positive because guess what? The minute you stop taking those drugs, you still have HIV. No matter what. You still have it.
There's no cure for it, is what you're saying?
Not from the drugs they have. Like, there's cures, of course. I'm sure there's cures.
You think they have a cure?
I think that there are people out there that are completely immune to that stuff. They're like
That's not
super
a cure,
immunity
though,
people.
but yeah.
It is, because that's what they did with polio. The guy who had the immunity for polio, they took his blood and he saved millions upon millions of children, including yourself and me, sitting here. Billions and billions.
Polio.
Pretty sure it was polio. Maybe it was a different one. Anyways, it was a really bad one. Like, polio is pretty bad. Anyways.
Smallpox?
I don't think it was smallpox. Anyways. But yeah, because his blood was like, he had super blood. Like, and he, like, that's what he did. He donated his blood so that they could constantly make, like, natural vaccines.
Holy shit.
For it.
That dog just jumped.
Yeah.
12 fucking
That
miles.
is a border collie.
Look at that.
That's a border collie, by the way.
I know.
They're
it is.
crazy. They're insane.
Look at the height and distance. He's like, the ball's behind me. Where's it? Where's it?
Oh my god, where's my toy? Where's my toy? Where's my toy? Where's my toy?
It was a crappy throw. He's like, it landed way over there.
He's like, I need it.
Where's my toy? All right, jump 2.
That was a little shorter than the first
Well,
one.
yeah, because he jumped into it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Cody is in the ring. And now we have a commercial break.
Okay.
You want to go during the commercial?
No. Don't meow me, cat. Mew. Me, 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 me.
Where does he get shots? That's why. That's why.
Usually they give them like in their necks.
Yeah, that's why I didn't put a collar on him.
Or stuff. Maybe in his butt, his leg. Sometimes give them back
Did
there.
you get bleats on your pants?
I did. It was bleach I got on the pants from the puppies when they had parvo.
Oh yeah.
Parvo puppy pants. Oh, let's see. Robbie's like, LOL. Don't know it, Cola. LOL. Don't I know it, Cola? LOL. I'm in my late 30s now. Film's like, she won. Yes. Making creepy panting faces. Matthew's like, sorry for being a bit cryptic. I don't want to hurt the channel. You're fine. Film's like, I'm glad my dream woman wrestled. And Robbie's like, hey, I know. I look young. LOL. Matthew's like, film. Sonya will win. Fecola says, Sweep is another precious pup. Look at those brown eyes.
All right.
Let's see. Matthew's like, certain products create AIDS. And Picola's like, there's your Belgian Malinois.
Oh, I have.
Belgian Malinois was bling. He came in 4th so far for the semifinals.
22 feet is a long way.
Uh-huh.
That dog's jumping. Look at that. Wow. There's that collie. Look at that.
I like how tail.
And turned in the air because it wants to go back to get its toy.
That's funny. It says, I'm sure there's cures for everything, conspiracy, but probably not. Matthew's like, I'm talking about certain sprinkle fixes that have a wait period for blood donation due to people developing AIDS. I think it's the Micromero November Alpha product.
Yeah. I used to think that there probably was like hidden cures for certain things. But then when you see some of the people that die from diseases, like from especially cancer, and you see who they are, there's no way money would have been an issue. You know what I mean? Think of the guy that invented Apple, Steve Jobs. You tell me he couldn't afford a cure for cancer?
Right?
Come on.
Right? They're like, no, let's put it towards AIDS. Matthew's like, Ayla, going with psychology, how much of this outs simply a placebo effect? T-Rex, your thoughts?
Well, let's talk about placebos for a second. Placebos are about 35% cure rate. They work better than any medication.
Mm-hmm. Why? Because it's your brain.
You want to hear some other crazy stuff? Because I was like studying this a couple months ago. I don't know how they could do this, but they did this. They would go in and they took like 100 people in these groups and they did knee surgeries on them. And 50 of them, they did the knee surgery. The other 50, they just cut them open and sewed them back up. The ones that they just cut open and sewed back up did better than the people that actually had the real knee surgeries.
Huh.
Talk
Did
about
they not really need like a very detailed knee surgery? Was it something that wasn't
the point
like,
is
invasive?
the brain's going to cure it if it believes that it's going to cure it.
Right.
And so then they give people these placebos, and they're these tiny little sugar pills. Mm-hmm. I mean, tiny, tiny little things like the size of like a flake, like that you'd put on a cake. Mm-hmm. And they would take it, and they would work about 16% of the time. And then they would just keep upping the size of these sugar pills until they were the size of like horse pills. And the ones that were the size of horse pills that the people would have trouble swallowing worked at 35%. Think about that. So the bigger the placebo, the better it worked.
That's funny.
That's it. That's all it was a placebo on all of them. 35%. So yes, placebos work. So if you believe it, and there's people that believe they're 2 or 3 different people, and they can have diabetes, they can change their eye color because they believe they're somebody else. Mm-hmm. It's like a multiple personality disorder.
Yeah.
But it's not real. It's just their thoughts. They think they're somebody else. And even if they are somebody else, so hypothetically say it is true and they are somebody else, it shows how adaptive the body is. Instant change. That's that change thing we were talking about.
Right.
It's Cody!
He said peculiar things. Why is there any good shows on the USA Network? Not really anymore.
Yeah, Raw. It's on every Monday. We watch it.
Pico says, what do you consider good TV shows? Not Raw.
So on TNT, on Thursday nights, there's a Rat in the Kitchen. We've been watching that. It's pretty good. I don't mind it. I don't hate it.
Film says, I'm giving Monday Night Raw a 9 out of 10. So happy to see my woman Bliss. So happy. Pico's like, USA used to have awesome shows like Psych and Mr. Robot, right?
Oh, yeah. What was the other one? The cop. The monk. Monk was pretty good.
Monk was good, too. Ayla says, okay, but what about Fargo Season 2? She got the placebo and she passed away.
I don't know anything about Fargo.
That's a movie or show. That doesn't count in real life. Film's like, no way, Matthew Armpit Hippie Goddess will never lose. Robbie's like, Cole, I have the channel on my internet box, but I never really watched it unless I watched soccer on it. Matthew says the human brain is fascinating. And it says, right at 10 p.m., Cody appears. And Ayla says, United States of Terra. It's a show about the multiple personalities. It's decent. I liked it. People is like, LO, you know what I just figured? I bought brats, but instead of hot dog buns, I picked up hamburger buns.
Oh.
Fuck my life.
Cut them up into little saucers and put them on there.
Dang it, man. Just use bread.
Cody, dumb it down for everybody.
Just use bread. It's fine. Just take a piece of bread instead.
I didn't win.
Matthew says, I think Sonya might job this one. She's going to start hustling the roster. And he was like, cut up the brats, smash them into a hamburger shape. I was like, oh, only you, Cole, would do that. And he was like, okay, but Fargo is a true story. Haha, I'm joking. I know you guys, you weirdo. Right.
Fargo's a true story.
A true story of nothing.
So why is she pulling the dog's ear? Nobody likes that. Don't abuse your dog.
Oh, who knows? Maybe it's because the dog gets way too excited. That's why she's doing it.
What is this, like a swing? I mean, saw swing? Oh, no, it is the toy. Okay. I'm like, what am I seeing?
So she doesn't throw it.
She leaves it out there?
She leaves it there for him. Excuse me, sir. Did you need something?
That's a German short hair. They're amazing dogs. They're good bird dogs. Cody, Cody, Cody.
Hey, you have to movie. I'm going to go get some food. You want to hold him for a second? Here you go. Lovely.
What this comes down to, truly.
Truly.
He's coming.
Truly. What it comes down to, truly.
He needs a question for vindication. So Cody's in the ring. He's talking about what's happening between him and Seth. He's talking about second chances. So the dog's trying to get his toy, but it's up above him. And so he's just swimming in circles. Dog's gonna drown.
But he's not either. Don't say stuff like that. Why do you have this? Why do you say shit like that? Why are you the way you are? The dog.
We gotta add drama to the situation. Nobody's gonna jump in there for the dog. There it comes. Hell in a Cell. They're gonna do it in a cell. There it is. Cody calling out Seth. This time we're going to do it in Hell in a Cell.
Hell in your cell.
Hell in your cell.
Hell in your cell.
Oh, Cody. He's laughing. Where is Cody? Is he in the back? Is he on the big Tron?
Nowhere to be found.
I don't... Oh, there he come in. Countdown to Cody. Cheating. Oh, that he cheated at Backlash to win. Seth is saying. Cody.
Seth tried to cheat first.
It doesn't matter who cheated first. It matters who cheated last.
Well, Seth deserves it.
Hey, Leopold. What are you doing? Well, come on. Yeah. I think Seth's going to accept. Seth's going to accept. It's happening. There it is. It's accepted. It's official.
What is it?
Hell in a Cell. Cody Rhodes. Seth Rollins.
Ooh,
Main event, probably.
like it when they make it official.
Nothing left to say, but I'll see you in hell.
In a cell. So funny.
Hell's Hells. I feel like Seth has to win, but it doesn't make any sense because Cody's the future.
Right?
Well, the future of now. I still feel like Seth is still the future of the company. Oh, Asuka's in the back. Oh, God. Asuka's fake crying.
Why is she fake crying?
She basically just called Becky a diaper baby.
She called her a diaper baby?
That might have been the most cringe thing I've ever seen in the history of the sport. But it is okay because she doesn't speak English.
Did she call Becky a diaper baby?
Yeah, but you'd have to listen to it.
That's funny. Oh, I can imagine what it sounded like. I'm sure it sounded hilarious. So she has to pause really weird because she has to come up with the English word.
Well, she's having fun in the back in her own little world. It was going to be a six-pack challenge, and now it is not. I guess Sasha and Naomi left the building before the match. And that's why that six-pack challenge is off. Because they just left.
They're like, fuck it, we're gone. We're out.
Hopefully they get fired.
I hope so too. I hope they get stripped of the titles.
Shoosh! Alpha Academy. I love that Chad Gable somehow is getting over, even with me. Because he's the true 5 foot of fury. But he's pretty good. I don't mean like in the ring or anything. I mean like with his promos.
With his character that he's doing.
Yeah, I love the character. Shoosh! Oh, Kevin Owens. The barbecue mishap because of Otis. So Chad Gable's going one-on-one with Ezekiel, Elias's little brother. All right, now we got a commercial break. Why are you taking so much time? All right, I don't know where we were, so I'm going to start at the top here. Go to close up, and then we got from Film Nation. I'm a little concerned about Sasha Banks, though. I hope she doesn't leave WWE. Yeah, I don't know if that's like a real thing that just happened. Like if they really left and they're just playing along with it. Because that's just weird. But maybe they were supposed to lose tonight or something. Sasha does pout. She's kind of a diaper baby herself. Matthew Medit says, I am proud of Cody for proving himself to the business. Yeah, absolutely. And then Luke says, man, there is nothing like a good old-fashioned salad with cheese. Oh, Caesar leaves. Cherry tomatoes, carrots, green peppers, freshly shaved sharp white cheddar cheese, fresh bacon bits, croutons, ham, and homemade. That's it, just homemade salad. Yummy. And then predictable from Vin, and then ranch dressing. That's what he was trying to say. He was naming the greatest thing ever. Homemade ranch dressing on a salad with a whole bunch of fixins. Just fixins, yeah. No meat on that salad, I noticed.
Who was that?
Luke.
Oh.
And then Ayla said Caesar leaves. Like it's a thing. I think it's a bush or like a weed in your garden. Dun, 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 dun. P. Cola says you have me until you said ranch, Luke. And then Matthew says, film, I think she would be an amazing in AEW because Tony gets it and I'd become wise the business. I have no idea what you're saying. I'm not deleting. I can't decipher code. AEW next year will be competing with WWE. Matthew thinks. Yeah. Piccola says, or Fat Lisa says, but I just don't eat ranch anymore. Ugh. Do you eat it on hot wings? Then Ayla says, he had me until he said, man. Ew. And then Luke said, instead of iceberg lettuce, I use big romaine leaves used in Caesar salad. Yes. Like the weed.
This is romaine lettuce.
Yeah.
It's a lettuce.
That's kind of what I use, I think, isn't it?
No. You don't use romaine.
Isn't that the weird weed-looking ones?
So, romaine is... So instead of it being a round ball, it's like looks like celery, kind of, but it's leafy.
Celery. Oh.
So you know how celery's in a stalk, and it's like bunched at the bottom, so romaine's kind of shaped the same way.
Cool. What are you eating?
Crackers and cheese and
Big
vegetables
ol'...
and dip.
It looks like pizza toppings.
Sure. Well, it's salami, so crackers and cheese and salami.
Did you cut it yourself?
Yes. No, not the salami. It was in a pre-sliced package. Anyways.
That's the code I couldn't break. And then I read down.
Matthew said, film, I think she would be amazing in AEW because Tony gets it and is become wise
to the business.
AEW next year will be competing with WWE. Pico says, but I just don't eat ranch anymore. Pela says, he had me until he said, man. Looks like instead of iceberg lettuce, he has a big romaine leaves used in Caesar salad. Yeah, you need to use greener leaves than that. Like arugula. Try arugula with it. Like just add it with your romaine lettuce. Philip's like, I don't know, Matthew. Matthew's like, I love a good salad, especially when it's tossed. Got me started on fruit baskets, girlfriend. Do you just play just the tip with your salads too?
Yeah, always.
It was like, oh my god, fruit baskets. Pico's like, no bueno. Pico's like, that lab gave it all her effort. Right? They all have heart, right?
All right, Ezekiel coming down. Kevin Owens is on the mic. He's helping us out tonight. And he is furious that there's a bunch of lying going on. Because he's just adamant that Ezekiel is
adamant.
His old brother.
He has to be himself. He can't be Ezekiel. He has to be Elias.
There it is. That picture. I posted that months ago. Whatever you're trying to show me, my eyes are closed. I mean, it's right there. It's photographic proof. It's not Dr. Jason.
Your research. That's funny.
It's not even that, but it could be.
Matthew says, Seth, the future of WWE between him, Cena, and Orton, Flair, Becky, and not sure on a third possible future of WWE.
He's meant his parents before, and they never mentioned that they had another kid. That's what Kevin's going off of. Anyways, we do have Ezekiel in there with Chad Gable. Chad wants a little... Oh, look at that. Chad takes him from behind. Does Byron have a little brother that looks just like him? Whoa! Flying shoulder block. Ezekiel straight getting to work. Ezekiel's got to win this, right? Like, to keep it interesting. He can't lose here. Because didn't he lose last week or something? I thought he lost. Maybe it was in a tag match. Wasn't there a tag match?
Maybe. I didn't know if he was going to try to jump up here.
Where'd he go? Did he leave again?
No, he's under my feet or under the chair or something.
Oh, there he is. I was out on the patio today cleaning it off and stuff, and I asked Voldemort, I was like, hey, what time is it? No, I said, is it going to rain in the next 7 days? And nothing. And so I'm like, what the heck? And so I looked, and the hose was dripping a little bit of water, so I thought maybe it got on the power strip. And I was like, crap. So I followed it to the box, and then I tripped the little breaker on the box, the GFI, because I thought maybe the water had tripped it because the green light wasn't on. And I was like, what is going on? So then I go in the house, I go downstairs, and I flip the bathroom or the laundry room light on, and it didn't turn on. I was like, it broke the breaker, the whole house.
Oh,
so
because
then,
the power was off.
Yeah, right. And so then I'm in the breaker boxes trying to flip every breaker and go outside, and I check the main one, and I'm like, maybe the power's out.
You're such a weirdo. You like didn't turn like a light on and off or anything. You didn't look at like the stove and shit.
Well, it could have blown the breaker to the whole house. A drop of water. I don't know. I mean, it sounds reasonable. But yeah, that wouldn't have happened. Sheesh! But yeah, the power is out today for like an hour and a half. And somehow I survived it. I don't know how, but I did. Ezekiel, he's bending him the wrong way.
Matthew says, Seth, the future of WWE. Oh, I read that one.
Look at this move.
He goes like, our truth is our future. Matthew's like, lipstick, I'd boink me. I'd boink me hard. Matthew's like, LOL, Caesar leaves. Looks like, I said ham, LOL. Oh, you said man. That's nasty. Human salads are bad, Luke. No, that's a no. I was like, LOL, T-Rex reading comments is the best. One day, Ayla and Miss D should call wrestling while T-Rex reads comments.
Oh, yeah.
That's hilarious, huh?
If I get a start and I start like right when you guys do, I can kind of keep up. But if I fall behind, I'll never catch up. I literally read at the pace that you type for slow people. Slow typers.
Oh no, he broke his brain.
Elias is down on the outside. I can't wait for his brother to show up. And they do a tag team match.
Right. That would be great. Looks like Matthew, it's 3 a.m. I can barely think straight. Matthew, could you imagine Trav reading chat on a pay-per-view when all the lurkers start chatting after the pay-per-view is over? Trav would still be here at the start of Raw. Matthew's like, I meant Tony Khan is becoming wise to the business and is becoming stronger competition with WWE.
I want to see...
because he's making a show that looks just like WWE?
I want to see how it actually ends up in about 5 years. I feel like any company could compete for a little while like they are. But I want to see what happens when their top guys that they're making demand the higher money and then they go to WWE. Because that's where things are going to get interesting. Because that's what happened with WCW. Although WCW had so much money, it didn't matter anyways. But they would, they started getting those guys like Jericho over on WCW and others. I'm just saying, like Stunning Steve Austin ended up over there. ECW first, though, with him.
Right. We opened my
and I don't think Triple H was ever in WCW. Shawn Michaels was never in WCW.
They were all just WWE.
Yeah.
Film says, Misty, she who armpit hippie goddess Alexa Bliss. Ah. Luke says, I'm not a big fan of the texture of arugula. You gotta find something really... No, you don't need to push them out.
Okay.
Things are open.
Bum, 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 bum,
You gotta find something really green then that you can stand the texture of to eat, because you need to add that with it. Because Caesar lettuce, you guys, romaine lettuce isn't as green as you need it to be a good roughage healthy for what you want to do with it.
Just eat kale. It's a superfood. It's disgusting, by the way. Like, just mix berries with it or something and drink it.
Matthew says, Luke, I'm just busting on your beads. Look at my awful typos. Oh, you should really relax, Luke. LOL, don't kick me, please. Film's like, seriously, I'm getting tired of the whole Ezekiel Elias nonsense, in my honest opinion. And Matthew says, Luke, I read that as lurkers, not lurkers. Luke's like, Matthew's like, hello, I was like, I never heard of this troll called a lurker. A looker. LOL. Looks like, Matthew, I'm about to revoke your chatting privileges for 5 minutes. LOL. Matthew's like, so if you take the heat off of me. It was like Luke eating man salads, tossing them and shit. It's so bad. Vindicator's like, Labrador retrievers are so awesome.
Yeah, nothing wrong with a Labrador.
Matthew says, what going into making a man salad, Chef Al? It was like, I don't know, Luke, tell us. Maybe, is it X-rated? Matthew's like, man, you're loving them dogs. And Luke's like, Triple H was in WCW for about 4 months before he was let go. And Pico says Triple H had a cup of coffee in WCW. He was called Terra Ryzen.
Oh, wow. I don't remember him being there. I mean, shoot, even The Undertaker was there for a minute as Mark Callis. But they didn't use him. They didn't utilize him as they should have.
So, neither one of them made that big of an impression. Well, you knew he was in there, but you didn't know the other one.
Yeah,
So
anybody that's 7 foot tall, I know. Like, in those times, you know, like Dangerous Dan Spivey and him, Sid Vicious, Kevin Nash, although Kevin Nash wasn't there. He was Diesel. He was over in WWE.
Ayla says, is it green enough if you're colorblind?
Yeah, it makes it
That would
healthier.
be gray, but sure.
Not always. They can see colors. Sometimes it's just off. It depends on the level, I think. I think there's like 4 or 5 different levels. Does that ever make you wonder that you might see different colors than other people and you just, it's all labeled the same, so we all call it the same, but it could be completely different to different people? Like, they might see blue for my red, but they call it red, so they know it's red. So it's red, but it's my blue. But to them, it's red.
It's the weird people that see music in colors.
Yeah.
Vinegar says, Travis, I wonder what's the WrestleMania of dog competitions?
I have no
The
idea.
Westminster.
Yeah, I mean, if
whatever.
you're going to do it like a fashion show. I could throw out a Michael Vick comment, but that's not nice.
What would be the equivalent in dog competitions to WrestleMania with popularity?
Michael
What
Vick's
people
backyard. You're making me say it. Appreciate it.
You're making jokes.
Well,
I
know.
get it. It's funny. Haha. But
Yeah, it's Westminster
I'm talking
for
about, like,
for prettiness, but this is a dog competition. It has nothing to do with pretty.
I'm not talking about pretty. I'm just talking about, like,
Dog competitions, period. What's the Super Bowl of dog competition? Is jumping a dog competition? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, oh! Chad Gable kicks out. I'm just saying that there might be different sports for dogs. But yes, it's the show, and it would be the Westminster Dog Kennel Club thing.
They should do dog competitions of dogs to finding, like, people and stuff. Not like real people.
They probably
that are lost,
do.
but like that.
Those Newfoundlands find people in water.
Mm-hmm. Matthew says, I'm partially colorblind, and Ayla says, explains it. Matthew's like, Triple H felt the tryout had been disorganized and unprofessional with WCW testing his attitude to winning or losing when he just wanted to show them he could wrestle. He left the tryout show, then he could wrestle. He left the tryout with a, we'll let you know. Luke says, Mick Foley was in WCW, WWE, and the original ECW. Dude's a legend, LOL.
Well, Mick Foley's a little bit different. Cactus Jack was the shit. It was weird when he went to WWE and he boozed Mick Foley and all the other characters because Cactus Jack is how I knew him.
Mm-hmm.
And so I never liked him as Mick Foley or the other guy. Dude Love or whatever he was.
Matthew says, I want to invent the urban dog sled race.
Oh, God.
And Vindicator says, dogs are better than humans using fake persona trying to insult your intelligence like Elias, Ezekiel, Obadiah,
Whoa.
Moses,
There
or
it is.
whatever the hell he wants to call himself.
No.
In short, dogs don't
Oh,
lie.
now he's going to roll him up. 1, 2. Nope. He's going to get him. 1, 2, and 3. Ezekiel wins. Ezekiel wins. He rolled him up. Fruit roll up.
Did you get a DNA test from him while he was there?
I don't know if they DNA'd him. So what, next week they're going to set up, or the week after, they're going to set up the Hell in a Cell, it won't be Hell in a Cell, but a match at Hell in a Cell between Ezekiel and Kevin Owens?
Maybe.
It's got to be happening soon.
It says you need the glasses test out if you're colorblind. Although they have tests you can check on your phone. Matthew's like, I took the test. Matthew's like, what color is this? Eggplant. It's purple. You weirdo. Pickle's like another roll up, and Matthew's like, LOL. Looks like I liked Mick Foley's rivalry with Triple H. H would beat him in a retirement match. Then the same night, another personality would roll in and wreck H.
That's funny.
Okay.
Got him.
Oh,
she divorcing him too?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it just divorces all over? Starting and ending your marriage? Challenge her to a match at Hell in a Cell. How slow she's running. Oh, God. Do not put Carmella in that.
She's probably wearing heels that are like 4 inches tall, sweetie.
Yeah, she is a bad wife. Carmella's basically the perfect wife.
Is she? I doubt she knows how to make a sandwich.
Unlike you. Unlike you, I am a real champion. James Ellsworth. Get on my back.
Oh, God.
Woo! Carmella Dana feud. Maybe they're
Ew.
making Dana relevant. Hopefully not making Carmella irrelevant. I don't know why. I like every time I think of it, Lacey Evans now, I just cringe, dude. We're just like, oh fuck. Is she just coming out to say hi and then leave again?
Yeah. Yay. Oh my God, she's supposed to be a bad guy.
Well, it hasn't happened yet, but yeah. She is...
Falling out of her top.
She's fallen out of her bottom. She's the whole thing.
Oh, hi.
All right, Lacey Evans next.
Hey.
Wow.
Anyways, Ian Glazer was in the chat for a minute. Hey, Ian says, yo, what's up? Matthew says, Luke, MSG, Rumble H, Triple H proved himself. Ian's like, how are you doing today? Good. I good day, yes. Matthew's like, holla. Ian says, do you like my new logo? It's Carolina Hurricanes logo. It's NHL. That's fantastic, Ian. Thanks for stopping by, man. Ian says, goodbye. See you later today. Bye. Luke says, I used to hate Triple H for some reason, but he earned my respect the past few years. Piccolo says, you could tell The Rock had a great time while they did Rock and Sock segments.
Oh, I'm sure.
Matthew says, deuces. And Phil says, bye, Misty and Travis. God bless America. God bless WWE. Our Pittsburgh has big heart. Love y'all. Bye, Film. Thanks for hanging with us, man. Matthew says, Luke, it's because of how much airtime he got. It was annoying listening to his 17-minute promos. Piccolo says, Dana looks better with some meat on her bones. Don't get all skinny mini on me, boo. Boom says, bye, Matthew. And Vindicator says, there hasn't been a day where Carmella was relevant. Literally nobody gave a damn when she wasn't on TV. Yeah, I threw it for him, but he didn't want to bring it back to me, I guess. Matthew says, Cola Rock and Sock Connection. Matthew says, I'm interested in Lacey's performance. Is the hype? Question mark? I don't know if it really is hype. Come on. Come on.
That dog's like, I want it, but I'm not going to jump to get it. He knows what he's supposed to do. He's trained.
I think he's the Belgian Malinois.
You think he'll get that far? Some of those dogs out jump it. So if they can, he's going to easily grab this.
Mm-hmm. Anyways.
And you can tell he's an athlete. Watch this. Here it is.
Whoa.
He touched it. I don't know if he grabbed it with his mouth, though. I don't know what they count. He jumped like 3 feet back.
He like knocked it off with his nose.
Or his toes, one of them. Oh, yeah, it was his mouth. Oh!
It was his bottom of his mouth.
Yeah, he got it, though. I don't know if you're supposed to catch it with your mouth or just knock it down. Or if they're still just doing distance.
Right.
Here, he's going to do another one. This time he grabs it with his mouth.
Sorry, buddy.
Here we go.
Hope you can get that.
Yeah, easy. No problem. No sweat.
Vinegar says, there hasn't been a day where Carmella was relevant. Literally nobody gave a damn when she wasn't on TV. Matthew's like, Cola Rocket Sock Connection. Matthew's like, I'm interested in Lisa's performance as a hype. Luke says, I only found Carmella relevant recently when she started teasing doing porn on TV.
Oh, God.
Matthew's like, later film. See you next time. And Matthew says, Luke, save that for your shed. Luke's like, rolling for laughing. Vindicator's like, I'm going to throw up, Luke. But Luke's like, ah, ha, ha, ha. Pickle's like, I'm pulling for Kiwi. God. Pickle's like, bye, film. Matthew says, I'm going to ask Miss D to turn me blue so I can time you out for 5 minutes and go back to black. Vindicator's like, anyway, thinking about Nikita Lyons makes me feel better, huh, Travis?
All right.
Looks like I rarely abuse my chat powers unlike all you heathens. I get to be crazy now and then, lol.
He touched it again, but...
Mm-hmm.
See?
Mm-hmm.
But they do it. So people are going to respond very well to her, probably.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be an interesting heel play.
Yeah, that's like chest powers. I read chest powers. Matthew's like, Luke, is your shed by any chance a meth lab? It's like man salads and chest powers. Luke, you're crazy. And Luke's like, nope, not going near that minefield. LOL. Matthew's like, Hooters, chest powers. Jesus, you guys.
Lacey has chest powers.
Mm-hmm. They want it.
Yeah. He jumped 21 feet on his third jump.
They got 22. Some of them got 22 feet, so...
Oh, yeah, but this is a different jump. It's to get to that thing.
Oh.
Those
There's a
ones-
ribbon.
Right. Go have a boy.
Because, like, there's days I feel I need to pray for this chat. He's like, oh, damn, Lacey doing cringe work in front of people now. She is definitely a heel. Lacey's still hot and a good wrestler, though. Maybe she could train Bliss. Nah, that's a lost cause. Did they let him go and just do it? He's like, I really want the toy. Really want the... Give me the goddamn
Well, he
toy.
Didn't get it. It's still hanging there.
Mako, he got 21 foot distance. Kane, the Labrador Retriever, got 20. Reed, the German Shepherd, got 19. Wow. That's crazy.
Is that the Malamé, the top one?
Yeah, Mako. Yeah, he's after a shark.
Okay.
He's named after a shark. Yeah, the Belgian Malinois, he was first. He got 21.
Not surprising. They're pretty damn athletic. Oh.
It was like apparently Luke is a superhero hooter. And Matthews got Jesus crosses. And Pico's like, poor Lacey, I had some respect for her. It was like, Luke blames us, but it's him. It's always been him. And Luke's like, each week I realize more and more how opposite from all of you I am. Left-leaning, optimistic about wrestling, really make bad jokes, laughing. It was like, oh, you know, Luke, it's fine. We accept you for all your flaws. It's okay, sweetheart. We still love you. That's what happens when you're on the conservative side. You just accept people for what they are.
You're so weird. As long as somebody isn't a radical on either side, I'm cool.
Jokes too, you know.
No, you can't. That was a bad joke. He even said that. He doesn't make bad jokes. Meaning that you make bad jokes all the time.
I'm fine with that. Sophie hates
Riddle
me for all my bad jokes and doesn't think I'm funny, so.
Sophie hasn't been here tonight.
She was in here earlier.
Oh, was she?
All your mental health talk probably made her go away. She seems like one of those.
Usos in the back.
Matthew's like, here's a funny I just came up with. Tell someone, if you were a dog, you'd be a meth lab. Inspired by Vin and dog jumping. Vindicator's like, I'm only hanging around to watch this main event just to see who interferes. Sure, Vindicator. Sure, honey. Pickle's like, dude, where did these guys get work as dog diving commentators living the dream? They work for ESPN, dude. They're like, oh, you're low on the totem pole. You gotta go do the dog jumping competition. Ugh. And he's probably like, I
ESPN,
love dogs. Yeah!
ESPN Ocho. Dodgeball.
It was like, we don't judge Luke, we accept Luke.
Obscure
Matthew's like,
Sports
sausage
Weekly.
wallet.
Obscure Sports Weekly.
Luke's like, oof, and Pickle's like, oh, you were saying something, Luke? Ew, dogs. Luke's like, trolloping sausage wallets. It was like, hashtag Luke toss man salads. Oh, Jesus. And they said, Cola, do you know your bitches? That's going to be on the application. To be a commentator. Matthew says, I suggest you pump.
Big time Bex. Who do you think's gonna win this, or do you think that it'll be like Bayley or somebody that interferes?
We have to have another comeback, right? Supposedly.
Because to have Asuka beat Becky would be dumb.
Didn't they say?
But they can't have Becky and fucking Esther again.
Wasn't it rumored that somebody was going to be somebody from AEW?
I don't know. That's not my rumor. I haven't read anything about it. I didn't read anything today. I was outside setting up the deck. How are your cucumbers? I said, how are your cucumbers?
Good.
Good.
Want one?
Probably, but I shouldn't eat.
Looks like hashtag Ayla about to experience a 5-minute timeout laughing. Looks like I said earlier, Matthew's like, Luke is a tyrannical moderator. Anarchy! Burn it down! Why are we burning things down?
That's what you do against tyrannical dictators.
Mm.
That was delicious.
Mm-hmm. We're good. Want the rest?
Is there any more?
There's like 3 or 4 more in the kitchen, in the refrigerator. You just have to make them.
How do you make a cucumber?
You peel it and cut it. You can leave the skin on it, but sometimes the skin's a little hard. Not hard, but like tough.
I wonder if it's good for your digestive system.
It probably is. I leave some skin on them, see? Just a little bit.
Rind?
Mm-hmm. Looks like it was a supposed rumor. I know better than to spread blatant fake news. I said it was a rumor. I said it was a rumor. Let's just try it out, Luke. Vinegar says, so Matt, do you think I buy meth from Philip Jack Brooks, or do you mean dogs who get excited as if they were on meth? Matthew's like, LOL, Ayla, and Ayla's like, wink, I'm not tossing salads. Laughing.
Whoa. Now they're doing long jumps again.
I think they're just replaying what happened from earlier.
Oh.
It's probably just a replay. Probably turn it off. Because that was the final. I mean, I guess I could do like a whole bunch of rounds, but that'd be, I mean, like different. More.
So when I turned it off, this commercial had picture-in-picture.
Oh.
I was like, I thought he turned it off.
Picture of the commercial itself.
Mm-hmm. See? Look.
Mm-hmm.
You see it?
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
Robbie just out there randomly deleting Ayla's messages.
Bobby's a pretty big dude.
He took Liv with him. That's funny.
That's pretty cool. And then Bobby wins in the steel cage.
Looks like hashtag Ayla tosses sausage wallets. It was like, I do that daily. Looks like the fuck, Robbie. Vindicator's like, speaking of fake news, what happened to Sophie? Sophie was here a minute ago, you guys, and said stuff and then left, so. Probably over on the drug addicts page watching them do their live stream of wrestling.
I think they only do that for pay-per-views.
It was laughing like a squat walk all day, every day. Matthew's like, Vindicator, I was just inspired by the dogs you're watching.
Busted it.
And thought of a way to insult someone for a cheap pop. LOL, I don't care what you do. You're a grown-ass man. If you got a problem, hit me up. Quack, quack. Looks like I love how I'm the one getting harassed, but Robbie does the timing. Yeah, Tim, I just deleted her message. Matthew's like, new definition to thunder thighs. The Indicator's like, this so-called main event is probably only getting 7 minutes of actual wrestling time.
Yeah, it's getting smaller and smaller.
Mm-hmm. Matthew, when you say a new definition of thunder thighs, is that the quack quack? Just out of curiosity.
Right, because as of right now, it's we got about 14 minutes. And both women are going to come down.
Mm-hmm. Cracker crumbs everywhere.
I feel like things are blown out. So Esther just has a jacket on. That's it. Titties everywhere, if she had any. All right, Asuka coming out first with her umbrella. From the Orient. Do you still say that? Or is that racist now?
Mm-mm. It's still called that. It was like, was I timed out? No. Nothing's like, were you? Luke's like, yes, I live, but not by me. And Jalitha is my witness. I was like, what message was deleted? I see all my chats. It was the one where he says, I'm not tossing salads.
It's like he did it and then left.
He hasn't chatted for a while. He's probably doing it in his sleep.
It's rolled over on the bed.
He's just like, bleh. Message deleted of Ayla's. We're all making fun of Robbie. He can't even defend himself because he's not even here. As Luke says, I mean, message deleted. I know what you meant. It was like, oh, I didn't notice I was building a castle with my kids. Haha, joke's on you.
All right, here comes Becky.
Luke's like, I'm so tired I can't type straight. Well, we know that from the tossing salads issue that you have. Matthew's like, thunder things from squat walking all day. Thunder things?
Look at her sunglasses tonight.
What the fuck are oh my god. She's so weird.
I should get those for my motorcycle when I go riding.
Thunder things from squat walking all day. You'd be able to pull a big rig up a mountain. It was like, oh, well, I'm not tossing salads. Lucas and Vinegar's like, message retracted. Just because nobody has done it so far tonight, LOL. Looks like, I wonder if he read it differently than it was and is now embarrassed, LOL. I done that. LOL. Matthew's like, Luke, you should come out of the closet in your shed. You might be able to type colorfully straight. You're safe here. It looks like Luke. So tired from tossing man salads, can't keep my eyes open. Jesus, you guys. Then you guys like, Travis, what the fuck is she wearing?
Right. All of them. But definitely the sunglasses. All right, Asuka just attacking Becky, but Becky's just on top of it. Last time these two wrestled one-on-one, Asuka beat her.
Asuka is like...
She beat her for the championship, the SmackDown championship at
What did she
Royal
call her?
Rumble. What?
A diaper baby.
Oh, diaper baby. Oh, she hit her with that ass. That's how Naomi wrestles, with that ass, too.
No, Naomi wrestles with her own ass.
Well, they call it that ass, but yeah. Oh! Asuka missed with a kick. Hit her with a little thrust kick from the behind. Oh, that's not a good one.
Nothing's like laughing my fucking ass off. Holy fuck. Looks like Becky looks like Marilyn Monroe. I'd Marilyn was absurdly nuts and insane and kind of starting to look methed up. No offense to Becky, but that's how she looks lately.
Well, she's trying to go, like, midlife crisis on us. I honestly believe that's her character. $6.
Ayla. I'd Marilyn too, Luke. Typos were fun. I don't know where the bathroom is and how to use it.
We don't need a coat wrangler. I feel like you should have a coat wrangler anytime you go out.
No one who made the movies here. You don't need to clap.
People that clap at the end of movies.
Oh my god.
I've been to a theater and they did that, and I was just like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah, it's like really weird. So the guy on the end, he was asleep. So when she started clapping, he's like, "What? Like what? What's going on? The movie's over." Oh.
Was it any good?
My brother always got with girls that sleep through fucking movies. Like, you cannot go to a movie with them because they sleep through them.
That's funny.
Like, what the fuck is your problem? Vinda here's like midlife, so Becky is over 40. Matthew says Becky needs to slow her roll. As in role model. Roll. She is Ronda in UFC at this point of the high spot. It looks like I hate it. I hate it, heat. It's like we are all hate for you here, Luke. Feels like, hey, Wesley Cab. So I'm a little bit late. Did I miss anything?
Not really.
Film, you were here and then you left. Are you back now for the women's match? What the fuck, my man? Looks like I quit. It feels like I was working on a project. Oh, okay. I'm like, why did you leave? You're like, I'm leaving for the night. I thought you were gone for the night. You're like, I did a project. Could have just said, hey, I might be back. I'm going to go work on a project. Luke's like, got the chills. Why are you chilling? Got the cold chills. Mom's like, oh, wait a minute. What am I doing? I'm so sorry. I don't know what you're doing. Ayla's talking about salads. Mom's like, sorry, I had a brain fart. Becky Lynch wrestling?
She is.
With Asuka.
Asuka.
I don't think you like Asuka.
Oh, poked her right in the face.
It was like peach salad nose. Guys' emojis are weird. Nothing's like, Film isn't here for just the women. He's here for the women's armpits. Like,
that's it. But Asuka didn't capitalize on it. She didn't do anything. We all know that Becky can take a punch. Has anybody seen the size of Nia Jax? Have you seen her? Oh
she's
my
gotten
God.
smaller, hasn't she?
Oh, no.
Oh,
She's 3 times her size that she was.
really?
Oh my God. I was looking at a picture of her today, and I was just like, somebody's going to have to tell her something, like, or she's going to die.
I thought she was getting smaller. I must have been looking at old pictures or something of her.
Yeah, no. I saw her in a picture today and on Instagram, and it was just terrifying.
Finn says maybe it's another Film Nation who teleported from another universe here to make cooking friends with Ayla.
I don't remember what her name is, like her real name.
Matthew's putting in a whole bunch of avocados and other things. Huh. Maybe it's the outfit? Like,
I don't know,
I
but
feel
look at
like
the
it's
size.
It looks fake as fuck. It doesn't even look real.
Well, it's because they blur pictures now, but...
Ayla's like, no, Ben. It films like Becky Lynch for the win, and Ayla's like, fruit baskets. You know that is an anime, fruit baskets. Has nothing to do with tossing salads. Matthew's like, and toss salads. So Pico's like, Film, be real with us. You're just confusing us with you side piece chat. Remy Care's like, I've seen all of Nia Jax that I need to see no more of her holes. Matthew's like, Ayla, you're the undisputed champ. Film's like, Ben, what are you talking about, my guy?
All right, both of these ladies going straight at it. 2.
Ayla, quote unquote, nothing beats a tossed salad with ranch, Luke Riley. Quote unquote.
Uh-oh, the Oscar lock. It's over. Becky's going to have to tap. It's only 3 minutes left.
Because, like, we don't need to know. We don't have to throw
Why
it
isn't
in
the
her
ref
face
pinning
and
it?
laughing.
1, 2.
Luke's laughing. Matthew says, the champ had been censored. Oh no! Looks like I felt left out. Boob's like, beautiful question mark. I'm not a fake person. And Nayla's laughing. And then there's like, film has a side piece. Oh god, you guys be nice.
There it is. Oscar lock in the armbar. She tapped? No.
Slipping through her fingers.
So close. We got 2 minutes left. I wonder if they're going to allow them to go over.
Mm-hmm.
Oh! Clothesline right across that top rope. Becky wasting time going over to talk to Bianca. Are they going to make this a triple threat match? Is that what this is all about?
Maybe. Oh god, that was just fake as fuck.
Right.
That was terrible.
No Academy Awards in this one.
Matthew says, what does
Oh, shit!
tease this mean? What does tease this mean? Where will Wrestling Gab high from here with a maniacal tyrant moderating the chat? Stay tuned on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern for AEW. Bryce Spaces in the chat for a minute says, gosh darn it, hey Wrestling Gab, I absolutely missed it. I absolutely overslept.
Uh-oh, Bianca getting involved.
Can you watch the rerun stuff? Can you, like watch it?
Uh-oh,
like,
look at this. Look at
post it
this. Look at
somewhere
this.
else?
Oh, green mist.
She green misted her.
Asuka cheated. Is Asuka going to win with a cheat? 2, 3. Asuka wins with a cheating.
And hid her face. Hid Becky's face. Well, there you go.
Asuka
Vindicator
wins.
says, well, I guess nobody will interfere, so I'm checking out. See you for a more sensible show that's all about blowing stuff up called Dynamite. Bye. Matthew says, Bryce, Luke is on a rampage. And Bryce says, man, I'm so mad right now I overslept. And Matthew says, later, Vin. It was like, nothing beats a tossed salad with homemade ranch, Luke Riley. Is that better? Matthew's like, Asuka Hill turn nice.
She's going to have to go re-dye her hair.
Mm-hmm.
That green stuff dyes hair. Remember Charlotte? She had green in her hair for like a week.
Mm-hmm.
Or a month. Like the referee can't tell that she cheated.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
What
look,
happened?
where'd you
What
get that green
happened,
stuff? And why is it all over Asuka's mouth?
Weird. All right. Excuse me. Bryce says, I'll try to show up to the next live stream. Bye. Bye, Bryce. We'll be here
All right,
Wednesday,
see you, Bryce.
hon. Matthew says, oh, you mean shed maid? LOL. Film says, a side piece chat. What is she talking about? I just had a brain fart. That's all I had. Luke's dotting. Luke, go to fucking bed. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We really appreciate it. Thanks for watching Raw with us. We'll be back on Wednesday for, some AEW.
We get to see who the Jokers
Dynamite.
are. I'm kind of excited about Wednesday.
Oh, is that what's happening?
Yeah, we get to see both Jokers. So the women's and the men's. In the Bret Hart's little brother tournament. Old Owen.
It is Hart and Salads and films like Becky Lynch lost. You gotta be kidding me. Nope, it happened.
Yeah.
Asuka won by spitting in her face, which is normal. Anyways, all right, everybody. Once again, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. We really appreciate it. Everybody have a good night. Much love to all you out there. Take care of yourselves. Be safe. We'll see you on Wednesday.
Thanks for watching Wrestling Gab. Bye-bye.